All right, everyone, this is Tim's New York Giants Straight Talk, brought to you by the mighty FanDuel. That's FanDuel.com, the number one sportsbook in America. Can you dig it? Oh, this is Tim's New York Giants Straight Talk, talking about the New York fucking football Giants, talking about this draft, talking about, is this a masterclass of the New York football Giants? Is this one of these drafts that we have been waiting for? We have been anticipating since 2022, since the venerable Joe Schoen. He has not earned the name Shane because Shane is not spelt that way. And for all the morons on Twitter, I wish I had this stupid giant Twitter post who said, this is the best draft class we've had since last year. I remember when the Kayvon Thibodeau Evan Neal draft class was the best draft class the Giants had in a century. Draft classes are not evaluated after one season. Try after three. And that's why the draft class with Malik Neighbors, with Tyler Nubin, with Drew Phillips is going to be so big this year that we're going to have to figure out what we have and what we don't have. But this is the first year of the hardball draft. This is the first year of a draft that, in my mind, kind of put a stamp on the head coach, because you could see the head coach's influence by this draft, what he wanted to do, what he didn't want to do. You know, I love you, brother. What happened, David? You know I love you. You know, I love you like a brother, but I hate my family. All right, well, that's a little interesting. Malachi's got the Brian Thomas build. Well, he may have the Brian Thomas Jr. build, but that's where it fucking ends. I wasn't going to get immediately into Malachi. There's a movie, I can't remember the name of the movie, when this guy walks around and screaming, Malachi, Malachi. But Malachi Fields, listen, guys. Malachi, I don't hate the player. I don't hate the pick at 3 because of the fact that most people had him as a third rounder. I hate giving up future picks like 2 4s and a 5. That, to me, had Joe Schoen written all over it. 2 4s and a 5 to move up 30 spots. And to give up a 4 in the draft next year, which is supposed to be a stacked draft. Now, here's the problem that I have. You know, we've always talked about the draft trade card. You got the draft trade card. You have to use this card because this is going to tell you how to facilitate your draft picks and what the value is worth. There's no value. I've told Rich McKay. I've heard Rich McKay say many times that goes out the window. It's whatever a team is willing to pay. That is the value of that pick. I don't see 3 4s and a 5 because now your Jackson Dart trade cost you an additional 2 4s and 2 4s and a 5. Now, if you take a look at Malachi Fields, I like the player. He was projected at points in time during last season to be a mid-first round pick. He is a big man. I like big wide receivers. He's 6'4", 218. Speed, we're going to get into the speed, but he's 6'4", 218. He's athletic. I love the people that are showing him doing backflips. Oh, he's so athletic. He's really so good because he could do backflips. Well, you know what? Until they put the backflip in during an NFL game, it doesn't really do anything for me. Malachi played in college for 5 years. He played 4 years at Virginia and then went over to Notre Dame. Now he did have a best 17.5 yards per reception, and the way the Notre Dame offense is, it's not predicated in reference to the outside wide receiver position as much as had been in years prior. Now, you had Daniel Jeremiah actually talk about his week at the Senior Bowl as being one of the best wide receivers in the entire practice, and then he backed it up. He did have 3 catches. He's a guy, like I said, Malachi, I don't hate the pick. I like the pick. I just don't like the compensation. It just doesn't make sense. But like I said, he's built like a power forward. We've seen these big guys. The only problem is he reminds me of Keenan Coleman, who came out of Florida State a couple years ago, went in the second round and has been very pedestrian right now for the Buffalo Bills. But I love Keenan Coleman. I thought the Giants should have taken Keenan Coleman in the second round if he was available, but Buffalo grabbed him with either the first or the second pick. It was first or the second pick. He's going to be your contested catch guy. It was funny because Slider sent me something about saying, you know what he reminds me of? Hello, Christopher. He reminds me of Plexico Burress. And I said, oh, that fucking comparison's coming only because of his size. But he's got reliable hands. He's got the big outside frame. He's got that grip. He's got that. I mean, if you're running man to man with this dude in Malachi, he has an issue creating separation. I'm going to keep you separated. He's got that issue. But if you're going to drop him in, he's got an excellent feel for zone coverage. He consistently finds the soft spot, and that's what you want. You want him to find that soft spot. You want him to feel his way through the zone coverage. He does that well. You're looking at his deep and intermediate grades. He tracks the deep ball well, and he'll win with the contested catch. But the problem is he does have an issue of gaining separation. If you take a look at his films from Notre Dame, if you take a look at his big catches, you will see there is not a lot of separation between him and the DB. Which is gonna be an issue at times, but he is a bigger man. That's what I like about it. He's tough after the catch. You know, I'm not saying he's Jerry Rice. I hate when I say this, and we've said this a million times before. Jerry Rice's 40 time was terrible. We've talked about it before. Jerry Rice, I think, just literally finished his college 40, but he was unstoppable on the field. I don't think the kid is that way. But like I said, I think he's going to use his size. I think he's going to use his strength. I think he's going to use his toughness. I think he's going to use his ability to find that hole in the zone. He's also at his size a capable and a willing blocker downfield, which is what this team is going to mean. And we've talked about this before. You know what I like about Malachi is, and a lot of people, like I said, they see the back. He's an athlete. He's an athlete. No, he's a football player. There is a difference, and this is what a lot of the morons and other channels don't get. There's a difference between being an athlete and being a football player. This guy is a football player. He has that mentality. He's competitive on every snap. He fights for every extra yards. He brings a physicality to the edge that we did not have on this team. And he brings a presence into the locker room. Now, the other issues are going to be, like I said, he's slow to get off the line. He's like that 76 Buick I always talk about. You know, once you get it rolling downhill, it's quick, but you got to get it rolling downhill first. He doesn't have that explosiveness. He doesn't have that quickness. He's going to have to use his size. He's going to have to use his head. He's going to have to use his hands. His biggest issue was he had a poor combine. He ran a poor 40. But again, like I said, I don't care that he's not the natural athlete. I care that he is a football player. I care that he understands. I care that he has all the physical intangibles, but also he's just a third round pick. We always talk about the high ceiling of a route tree. That's going to be the biggest question for him. He rounds off. If you watch, and I started watching film because I literally had him as like the 18th best wide receiver on the board. I did have him as a third round pick, but if you watch him play at Notre Dame, he rounds off his routes too quickly. And again, this is something like that can be taught. You can teach that. You can teach him how to run routes correctly. You can teach him positioning and strength that he needs to get away and pull away and create separations. You can teach the fact that if he's rounding off his breaks often too early, and that sometimes is perceived as a lack of foot quickness, and he doesn't create consistent separation. Okay, well, we can work on that because of his sheer size. Now, if you take a look on the production on the short and underneath routes, he's not as dynamic. And the problem is you are running a Matt Nagy system, which is going to be predicated a lot on the short and underneath routes. You know, like I said, and he doesn't have that burst or that lateral agility to be dangerous in the screen game. But also, I'm not going to use him on the screen game because he's fucking 6'4". I'm not going to use him on the screen. The biggest issue is he doesn't have that. He's lacked of lateral quickness, and he doesn't have that second gear. And if you truly are going to run a Matt Nagy West Coast style offense, if you don't have that ability to play well in the short game, you better have more of an ability to play on the outside and be that difference maker, be that 11th blocker. And I know that there's not 11 blockers, but you know what I'm saying. But if you can be that, he could be a great complementary piece to this Giant team if you still have the perception of Malik Neighbors, Darnell Mooney, Darius Slayton, and Malachi. He could be that missing piece, but also people forget you have Isaiah Likely, who played 276 snaps in the slot. So and you have Theo Johnson. So you have, we've said it before, you can potentially move all these guys around and sitting there in the secondary, have the DBs go.
Tower, this is Ghost Rider requesting a flyby.
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
You can flood the pattern with these smaller, faster guys, and then you could nail them on the outside.
That's what she said.
With someone like Malachi. So like I said, I like the pick a lot. I like the pick. I like the player. I don't like the compensation. 2 4s and a 5 is way too much to do to move up 30 spots, especially for a guy that if you take a look at the wide receivers that were still available on the board, I don't think he would have went anywhere. I still think he would have been there when the Giants picked in the 4th round. And I know the Giant, and they always say when the time to get your players when you have the opportunity to get it, but I just don't. It's interesting because if you look at someone like Amar Thomas, Amar Thomas out of Houston, similar type player, 6 feet 205. He's a couple inches shorter, but similar type player. Except, very similar speeds, very similar traits, and he went undrafted. So, I mean, it's one of those things. And some people actually had, and a lot of people were like, who the fuck is Lamar Thomas? That's the thing. A lot of draft boards I was checking last night had Lamar Thomas over Malachi. I can't think of that movie. Malachi. I can't think of the name of that movie. It's going to drive me fucking nuts. Hit that like button because you got to hit that like button when you come in because I don't know why. Because if you don't, the Knicks won't win. And the Knicks won yesterday. But like I said, off Broadway. Malachi feels like Isaiah Likely and Darnell Mooney is going to stretch this field. Malachi's not a stretcher. Malachi's got 4.6 speed. That's no. Darnell Mooney and Isaiah Likely with Malik Neighbors is going to stretch the field. Would you say, this is a good question. Would you say his peak is Christian Watson? I'm trying to think. Let me pull up my chart here. That's not a bad comparison. That's literally not a bad kid. I like Christian Watson out of Green Bay. That's actually a fairly good comparison, but Christian Watson, there's a difference. Christian Watson 6'4", 208. Christian Watson's got speed. In reference to the athleticism, reference to the size, reference to the ability to make the catch, yes. The reference to his speed, no. I was at 11 likes. You're at 11 likes. Where are we at 11 likes? How many likes do we have? Make sure you're hitting the like button, guys. Come on. Got 37 likes. All right, there we go. We're getting up there. Let's go. All right, this is a good one. Kelly Jack will go down as a steal of the draft. Oh, listen. When you bring in a guy in the 6th round and you take a look at him, and you got to remember the odds of a 6th round draft choice. We've broken down the odds before about how they serendipitously drop as you go later in the draft, how you usually end up in the 52nd, the 53rd spot on the roster, or even in the practice squad. Kelly Jack in most draft boards and most draft analysts will tell you was an undrafted free agent. And I have no problem with the Giants taking him in the 6th round. because the sixth round is some 6th and 7th round at time. You had 3 6th round picks. The 6th round at pick at times is just like trying to grab a guy that you want to take as an undrafted free agent, but you don't want to have to compete against other teams. So you're guaranteeing him he's going to be on your roster. He's a kid that when he came out of Kearns High School in Utah, wasn't highly regarded, modestly recruited. He wasn't a guy that, that was rocking up any draft boards. He wasn't a guy that was more than a 2-star recruit, which means shit now because you're in the NFL. He fit right away. In the shit. Okay, everyone hold on a second, please. I got to run upstairs for 2 seconds. Don't anyone go anywhere. Hold on. I got to figure this out. Hold on. I got to run. I can't find the damn thing. All right, everyone just hold on for 1 second. I'm going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. I got to hold on. Okay. I'm going to take myself out a second. I don't know what this is going to do. But hold on a second. Hold on. I got to take myself out for 1 second. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties there. I'm back. Where was I talking about? Oh, hold on. I had to run upstairs a second. But he wasn't a guy that was a high recruit. Again, we're talking about Jack Kelly. But he is a 2-time captain at BYU. Earned mid-season. I got to freaking ran. Give me a minute. I ran. Had mid-season All-American honors in 2025. Finished with a career 49 games. He was the practice player of the week, I know, over at the Senior Bowl. But he's a guy, like I said, he reads well the defenses. He's a 6th-round guy. You take a look at his tape. He had a 36-inch vertical leap. He was 10.5 on the broad. He's a guy that he's a hard-nosed football guy. He's got a little bit of dog in him. He's got a little dog in the fight. He's also a guy, but this is at BYU. He's comfortable standing up or his hand in the dirt. He lined up everywhere for BYU. He reads snap count wells. I mean, he's good at the A gap. But he's a 6th-round pick. And if you look at his play, he lunges a lot. He lunges and whiffs a lot in space. Not in the open field. In space, he lunges a lot and misses. And with these larger offensive linemen, he gets kind of walled off by him. We've talked about it before. He's got these short arms. He's not this guy that, like I said, he's not Blake Martinez who has the ability to flow through traffic and not get lost in the sauce. And if you watch him in reference to covering someone in the backfield, especially on zone runs, he kind of drifts a little and his eyes drift a little off the backfield and he loses his gap integrity on assignments a bunch of times at BYU. He is a run fit guy. And he really showed no growth as a player from 24 to 25. And he has this tendency, if you watch him play, he kind of turns his shoulders and overruns the play against the outside zone. And if you want a good example of it, and this isn't at the highest level of competition, watch the Texas Tech tape. I did. He's a pass rusher. If you want to be nice, he's a pass rusher first, second, and third. When he shoots off the edge, when he comes into the interior gap on a design blitz, he could be something. But as a 6th round pick who has problems flowing through the offensive line, has problems in reference to his ability of tackling in space, that's kind of an issue. Unless he fixes his tackling and his coverage, he's going to have to take a real step forward, because in his 4 years, like I said, the tape suggests he has not always made the next step up. So we're going to be curious to see what he is. But like I said, he's a 6th round pick. So I'm not going to sit there and default a guy for being a 6th round pick, because he is what he is. Big fucking town drops in super chat. Tim, great stash is what we need. We needed the great stashes. We got a bunch of great stashes. But Kelly is super explosive. Yes, can get to the quarterback, steals every gap he's on. Yeah, but the problem is this with Kelly. His competition was at BYU, and then when he actually played competition, he disappeared. I can't even say he's a Chase Blackburn 2.0, because Chase Blackburn had this innate ability to flow through traffic. Jack Kelly gets lost in the sauce. We've talked about it a million times. He gets lost in the fucking sauce. He has a problem tackling in space. And I'm not talking Space Jams. He is a guy that lunges and whiffs. Watch the film a lot. His immediate need for this team is going to be as a pass rusher and a special teams player. But that's what you are when you are a 6th round guy. So like I said, I don't fault him for being a 6th round guy. That's just what it is. Kelly was a professional BMXer when he was 5 years old. His dad is Rice. Fun fact. I didn't know that. AJ, you stole it out of my mouth. This guy, Kelly, no, Chase Blackburn was an entirely different player. And we've talked about this before. As the player gets further out of mindset, like Chase Blackburn, what Chase Blackburn did is somewhat overhyped and somewhat overregarded. Chase Blackburn came in and saved the 2011 Giants. He did. He came in and saved the 2011 Giants. Chase Blackburn's biggest year was 98 tackles, which was in 2011. Chase Blackburn had a great 10-year career. He saved the Giants in that 2011 season. He was barely a blip on the radar. On 2007. He saved the 2011 season that time with the defense. Chase Blackburn had 4.5 sacks his entire career. He was not a pass rusher. His biggest season, he had out of his 4.5 sacks, 3 of them came in 2012. He's not Chase Blackburn. Chase Blackburn was a hard-nosed football player who understood how to tackle. Jack Kelly doesn't. Jack Kelly on almost every single board was an undrafted free agent. Joe Ferris is right. Jack Kelly sounds like a politician. Hopefully, well, here's the problem. And I'm not saying Jack Kelly's ceiling has not gone up from year to year. Usually when you have a guy that's a 2-time captain, his 24 season to his 25 season at BYU, there was no exponential jump. It was flatlined. Which is not a problem when you're playing in college linebacker at BYU. The problem is this. You're going to the NFL. It's going to be a Herculean jump for this kid. But like I said, this is a guy, though, that is a 6th round pick. He was 186th. No, I'm sorry. He's 193. So for people to sit there and go, he's going to be this, he's going to be that. I can't tell you what he's going to be at all because I don't know. Because like I said, majority of people had him as an undrafted free agent. You take a player like that at 6 that is more likely going to be an undrafted free agent because you know and you are aware that you may have to compete with him a little bit in reference to getting his services outside of free agency. Now, one of the players that I am curious about, and I'm going to get to everyone in the chat. One of the players I'm very curious about is Bobby Jamerson Travis. 6'3", 328 pounds, out of Auburn. This is an interesting pick. 19 sacks and 21 tackles for a loss he had as a senior down over about in a Memphis high school. This is a guy that went through a college route from Iowa Western Community College, I think it is, over to 2 years at JUCO to Jameson. I mean, then he finally ends up over at Auburn. So he took a long path to get to Auburn. In 2025, he started all 12 games at nose tackle, leading the interior lineman with 36 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and anchoring the defense, which was ranked 10th nationally. I love his size. I love his weight at 328 pounds. He is a space eater. He is a frame eater. He is a plugger. We talked about finding an anchor for the run defense. This is going to be a lot to ask for a 6th rounder, but if you can get him ready, he is the anchor in the middle of the line. He is. If you take a look at the way he plays, he gets his hands. We always talked about it. You always say, back in the old days, that's why I miss Sean Salisbury, because Sean Salisbury uses my phrase, knock his dick in the dirt. But back in the old days, you would call it, especially in regards to being that run defender, especially going up on those bigger offensive linemen, you get your hands on his tits, get him under his tits. What he likes to do, we call it now, you get your hands on the chest plate. He has good hand placement. He transfers his power well. He effectively punches and squares off when he's engaging blockers. His tackling is reliable. And this is why we talk about Kelly and we talk about and we talk about him. This is why we're talking about Kelly, and this is what we're talking about with Bobby. Bobby got better. Bobby's tackling from his junior season to his senior season exponentially got better, and he significantly missed or cut down on his missed tackles. That's what you want to see. And we didn't see, and like I said, there's nothing, sometimes a player's ceiling is a ceiling, but if you don't show a progression, that's a problem. But this kid, Bobby, showed a progression, cut down on his missed tackles. Now, this is also a guy that when you're playing, he's going to play in space. And he's got that initial burst in that short areas and the short spans to be a difference maker. And in the run, I should rephrase that. I love when people talk about, well, a straight line speed isn't where it should be. And I keep telling people, until the NFL is played in a straight line, I don't fucking care about that with my interior lineman. Some people say his pass rushing skills are thin. He's mainly a bull rusher. I have Darius Alexander. I have Abdul Carter. I have Kayvon Thibodeau. I have Brian Burns. I have Arvell Reese. I don't need him as a pass rusher. They've also talked that sometimes he slips a little on double teams. If he's drawing a double team, he's opening the line for all my pass rushers. So what's wrong with that? They're going to tell you he's a 2-down player. Yeah. He's my first and second down run stuffing defensive tackle, nose tackle. Yes, 100%. He's a guy that's going to control the A gap. So I don't care. I don't care if he's a 2-down player because he's also a 6th rounder. But like I said, for his wingspan, his height, his weight, his hands, everything that he does well is what the Giants need him to do. Now, again, you're talking about a lot for someone like Jack Kelly. You're talking about a lot for Bobby Jamerson Travis. You're talking about they're going to have to do a lot to make this roster, especially as late 6th round picks. I think right now, in reference to necessity and need, both of them are need picks because you need to fill out your linebacking core because linebacking core is still light, and you need to find a prospect defensive tackle because you're probably going to bring in DJ Reader. And I'm fine with that. Like I said, I like the Malachi. I think people need to calm down a lot on it because they don't understand his game. He's an old-time. What I like about Malachi a lot is he's an old-time football player. He is an old-time. He reminds me of a wide receivers from the 80s and the 90s. Not a lot of speed, This is back when you could hand check. This is back when you could hold the wide receiver. This is what you saw a lot of the hand fighting back in the 80s and 90s before they changed all the fucking rules. That's why girls don't play the game, or girls probably should play the game now because sometimes everything's a fucking penalty. We're not going to say anything. But he is an old-time Malachi to me is an old-time football player. I love the Malachi pick. Like the player, hate the compensation. Especially giving away, especially the fact that you literally hamstrung your team by not picking until the 6th round. You couldn't manipulate this trade for maybe a couple 6 rounders instead of the 5th. You couldn't give him 2 4, 2 6s and a 5. I don't know. It is what it is, but it's one of those things that if you look at it, it's like I said, I love the player a lot in reference to Malachi. I think that it is, and like most teams had him before he had a horrible combine, before he had a horrible 40 time, before his lack of athleticism truly shown. And again, guys, doing a fucking backflip does not make you an athlete. But I don't think he is an athlete. I think he is plain and simple, a football player. And that's what you want, and that's what you need. And that's what we're getting out of him. And I take a look at these other picks, and like I said, you take a look at it and you have to remember from the perspective that everyone has to have a role on the team. That's what you do. No, Malachi does not give me the Kenny. Well, here's the problem with Kenny G. Here's the problem with Nathan. Here's the problem with Kenny G. I'm going to tell you this right now. The problem with Kenny G. The problem with Kenny G he was productive in Detroit. He had 2,000-yard seasons, but he's also playing in the Dome. He's also playing with one of the best quarterbacks in this decade. And then he went to the Giants and he started playing with a bad offense and Daniel Jones. And also he had the hip injury, which I warned everyone about, that he barely played his last season in Detroit. And everyone says in Detroit, he probably could have came back, but he didn't come back because of the hip injury. If you have a great vertical leap, you're an athlete too. You're right. If you're fast, you're an athlete. You got a great vertical leap, you're an athlete. I agree. I mean, I'm curious to see what does Rich Rod say? Yes, we need the D-line to occupy O-line, stop the run. We don't need him to be a pass rusher. If Alexander gets pressure, that's a bonus. Simple. You have to think about this as being rotational. This has to be rotational at times. When we had Gary Reasons on, Gary Reasons talked about this, that he thought that one of the biggest issues in the NFL, especially in the linebacker core, where everyone was a specialist. Well, that's just the league. That's just the way the league's going. So if you need to have a 2-down defensive tackle, that's a run stopper, and I have Darius Alexander and a plethora of pass rushers, I mean, I'm fine.
You say I have a plethora of piñatas?
If I have a plethora of pass rushers, I'm good. On my way to MC an event, I will give you the full breakdown on Jeremy Jones on Monday. I have watched a lot of tape on him. He is an excellent 2-down player who can also get upfield aligned as a shade. There you go. See that? Joe Spano just told us what I just said. Because that's right. He's right. That's what he is. That's what he does. That's what it is. And I don't need him to be a 3-down guy. I don't. You know what I need him to be? I need him to be the run plugger. If I get DJ Reader, I have Travis, I have Darius Alexander, and if is DJ Davidson still on the roster? I don't even know if DJ Davidson is still on the roster. Is DJ Davidson still on the roster? I don't even remember. That's why I laugh. Or is he with the Redskins? He's with the Redskins. Isn't he with the Redskins? He's with the Redskins now, right? He's with the Redskins. Yes, he went to the Commanders. Yeah, that's right. But if I can get myself another guy, I'm good. I'm gold, Pony Boy. James says Fields will be Dart's red zone wide receiver. Yeah. Yeah. I love Joe Ferris. Tim, you're really pumping up Darius Alexander. No, Darius Alexander is what he is. They are who we thought they were. He is what he is. Darius Alexander is an undersized defensive tackle who can rush. He's not going to be that anchor in the middle of the line. He's not going to be that guy that prevents the run. He's not going to be a guy that's going to take on a double team. Darius Alexander is a pass rusher. The venerable Joe Schoen, and we're not calling him Shane because that's not how you spell fucking Shane. The venerable Joe Schoen came out during the draft and said, hey, listen, this guy is an athletic pass rusher at the defensive tackle position. Now, the problem is we have a lot of pass rushers. I'm not going to lie to you. That's why Travis, to me, is such an interesting pick because we got a lot of pass rushers. Not a lot of guys that can stop the run, but we got a lot of pass rushers. And we getting Tremaine Edmonds and getting Arvell Reese. Listen, Arvell Reese is going to be a middle linebacker. Plain and simple. The venerable Coach John Harbaugh told us he is going to be a middle linebacker. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again. I've said this a million times, and I think A.J. Marshall also said this, but I've been saying this for a while just as well. Arvell Reese is the player people thought Abdul Carter was. And I kept telling people that's not Abdul Carter's game. Abdul Carter should be a situational pass rusher. The more you play Abdul Carter, the more he gets his deficiencies exposed. I even said that if you would create multiple pass rushing packages for Abdul Carter, cut his snap count down to like 50%, and created timely mismatches with him, he could probably have 10.5 sacks last year. But vis-a-vis injuries and everything else, you put him in there, and the more he played, the more his deficiencies got exposed on the rest of his game, the totality of his game. And then people are playing, well, look how well he played against the Vegas team. I mean, he was playing the Raiders. So, I mean, that's kind of an issue. But like I said, I think the way you're built, yeah, we're definitely signing a Reader. And we could sign, I like Benito Jones as well. I thought Benito Jones was great. Off Broadway says, Tim, I've been super busy and missed it if you grade the Giants draft. What did you give us? I'm going to tell you right now, guys. I wanted Lee Hunter bad too, but that's okay. We didn't get him, but that's fine. I give the draft an A. And I love it because, and I'm going to be real with you for a minute. Hit the fucking like button. I'm going to be real with you for a minute. You want to watch other channels, go right ahead. You want to get news and information and varying news and information from other channels, go right ahead. But most of these fucking morons do this for the shock factor. They're all upset about Arvell Reese and Big Fred. Oh my God, it's the worst draft we've ever fucking had. We redrafted the Kayvon Thibodeau, Evan Neal. You don't know fucking shit. Plain and simple. You don't know shit. You've been wrong about everything for 5 years. Now we're going to sit there and tell us now you're right about everything, about this being a horrible draft, that the Giants got hoodwinked and all this stuff. You're doing it to be shocking. You're doing it for the likes, the clips, the bleeps, and the boops. That's what you're fucking doing it for. You're doing it for the super chat. You're doing it for all these disservices of all the Giant fans that came to you to try to understand and get a feel and get an understanding for the players that we took. You're being fucking assholes. Because now in a week, you're going to be like, oh, these are the greatest picks ever. Now the shock value is gone. Arvell Reese and Big Francis. You have arguably on most people's draft boards, two of the top 5 players in the entire draft, the number 1 linebacker, the number 1 offensive line, and you pick them within the top 10. You get 2 of them in the top 10. Arvell Reese is a downhill tackling fucking machine. He is a guy that's got sideline to sideline speed. He is a guy that I never imagined would be sitting there at 5. The speed which the Giants got that pick in was amazing, was incredible, because they were like, what the fuck just happened here? This guy just fell in our freaking laps. And then people are upset that we didn't get Sonny Styles. And I already said this before. If I had a choice between Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, I'm taking Arvell Reese. While Arvell Reese does not have the coverage ability of Sonny Styles, Sonny Styles was a safety until 2 years ago. So he better have better coverage skills. But if you're looking for a man that is going to be a man among men in the NFL, I would perceive almost immediately you have Arvell Reese. There he is. He's right there. He's speed, he's quickness, he's strength. You have watched him throw around and toss around 300-pound defensive linemen like rag dolls in fucking college. You can, and like I said before, college does not transition into the NFL. But you know what's great? You know what's awesome about it? A 300-pound lineman in the NFL and a 300-pound lineman in the college is still a 300-pound lineman. He is going to change your thought process. You have Tremaine Edmonds now and Arvell Reese in the middle. You have two guys, and his tackling technique, and I love this about Arvell Reese a lot. He knows how to tackle. He tackles properly. He had 4 missed tackles his entire season last year. Out of 70-plus stops, he missed 4 times. That's not something we've seen at times at the Giant linebacking core with Bobby Okereke and Micah McFadden. Micah McFadden owns a 14% missed tackle percentage. You are going to see a revamp in the running game in the second level in the middle of that line with the middle linebackers with Arvell Reese and Tremaine Edmonds. Giants should be praying to whatever God you pray to that this guy fell to us at 5. The Cardinals taking Jeremiah Love screwed up the entire fucking first round at times, but it made the Giants a better team immediately. And then we look at Big Francis. I love the Francis pick. People will be like, well, tell me he has the herniated disc. Okay, well, you know what? The motherfucker didn't even know he had a herniated disc. He might need surgery. Well, yes, the time frame for that type of surgery is less than 3 months. Probably less than for an athlete and a player of his age. And he may not, and they will tell you, even with exercise, physical therapy, you may not even need surgery. You brought in the best offensive lineman in the draft. You brought in a guy that you are going to slide over into right tackle. You're bringing back 4 of 5 starters from last year. You are bringing them back into a line that people don't realize and people don't know, because we talk about it here. Total pressures were allowed by the Giants offensive line, 134, which was 6th fewest in the leagues. Blocking pass efficiency was 87.2, which was 4th best in the league. So you are bringing him back into a line that is proficient at pass blocking, and you are putting a mauler who plays well in space at the right guard position. Yes, some of his traits trend towards what they said about Evan Neal, but I'm not playing him immediately at right tackle. I'm putting him in at fucking guard because I got Jermaine Illuminor. He is a refrigerator at 315 pounds. He carries his mass. He's like fucking muscle. You ever go to a cheap restaurant, get a bad fucking steak, and it's so fucking chewy? It's all this muscle and all this fat. He doesn't have the fat. He's got the muscle. He absorbs contact. He is the ridiculous fucking anchor. I've already said it before. You take Big Francis, you put him on the Titanic, throw him overboard, he would have stopped the ship. Bull rushers hit fucking brick walls. They run into his chest plate and go, what the fuck just happened? We've said this before. We always talk about Deacon Jones. Deacon Jones was the inventor of the head slap. He used it in the 60s and 70s until they banned it. You come in, put your hand on the pad, you take your other big man, you slap the opponent on the side of the head. And he would cause concussions. He was crack helmets. This guy's initial punch, most scouts say, land with concussion force, stunning defenders at that first contact, allowing him to dictate the tempo almost every single fucking rep. And he's a fucking mean asshole on the run. He finishes defenders. He drives them to the ground. He plays through the fucking whistle like you're supposed to. He imposes his will on short line. And you got to look at people like, well, you know, man, I don't know. We should have got fucking Caleb Downs. Should have stopped from going to Washington. Fuck you. You don't know fucking football. You don't take a player just because he's going to go to another team. That's beyond fucking stupid. I'm going to take this player to stop him from going here. Why would I want to better my team? Because you're fucking morons. Woosah. I need a woosah moment. I was on Twitter earlier. That's why I kind of got fired up a little bit. How many DBs in our division has field size? Well, it's not just size. You don't need. It's not just size. How many DBs can go up against Fields? Well, all of Philadelphia can. That's one team in your division. Dallas Cowboys, the way they're reinventing their defense, Dallas probably could as well. Washington, I'm going to say no. Washington, I'm going to say no. Richard said the compensation wasn't that bad. Yeah, compensation was terrible, Richard. You moved up 30 spots by giving up two 4s and a 5 for a third round pick. Yes, the compensation was god awful, Richard. It was god awful. You moved up 30 spots into the. You didn't move up into the second round. You didn't move up into the first round. You gave up 2 4s and a 5 to move up into the third round. So technically, your Jackson Dart trade also now costed you 2 4s and a 5, and you give away a pick in one of the most, what people are perceiving to be one of the most stacked drafts in a century next year. You gave up a value pick as a 4th rounder in next year. Yes, you gave up a lot for a 3rd round wide receiver on a team that really didn't need a wide receiver. The only thing that I like about this tremendously, it probably puts the OBJ thing to rest. You probably take the look at the OBJ thing and say, okay, now we can. I think John Harbaugh did it also just so he can say, you know what? I'm putting the OBJ shit to rest. Because now I never needed OBJ before because I have Malik Neighbors, Malachi Fields, Darius Slayton. Don't forget about Isaiah Hodgins. You have Darnell Mooney. You have what's his name? Calvin Austin III. You still have Gunnar Ovchesky. You have Xavier Gibson still. People forget about that. You got a plethora of you got a good wide receiver room even without Malachi. Has Malachi made your wide receiving room exponentially better? No. Because I don't know what he's going to be yet. It probably is the nail in the coffin for Jalen Hyatt. Well, thank God. Probably for Bo Collins. But Malachi is also going to have to play special teams. He's not a guy that returns kicks. But if he's going to come here and he's going to play behind Neighbors, Slayton, and Darnell Mooney, he's going to have to play special teams. Because you can't be a 4th wide receiver, a 5th wide receiver, and not play special teams. That's just the way it is. And I'm fine with that. Oh, I'm way behind the chat. Oh, we got to go. Eric, Super Chats. All Super Chats go to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. We need another Scatterbo. Won't make it a full 17. Yeah, I mean, the running back situation. Listen, we've said this before. You're not going to fix everything. You're not going to fix everything in a single draft. Your running back situation is still Cam Scatterbo, Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary, Eric Gray, and Dante Miller. Patrick Ricard is not a running back. He doesn't carry the ball. He only plays in about 35% of the snaps. He's only done that over the last 2 seasons. People need to realize that. So he's just going to be that 6th offensive lineman. I don't know. Maybe they do something. Maybe there's a guy out there. Maybe there's a guy in free agency. Maybe they're just waiting for a guy to come, after the final cuts. I don't know. But you can't fix everything. We're not going to be able to fix everything at once. So yes, while I agree they need to address the room. I agree. But like I said, you're not. And Mr. Price says you're right. You're going to get a running back next year. You can't get everything at once. That's the thing. You can't get everything at once. Neighbors will forever be a headache for move. You're not going to size 9. You can't move on from him now. He's only in his 3rd year. If you're going to move on from him, you move on from him in year 4. You pick up if he plays well this year and he's still malcontent and you have other options, you pick up the 5th. You'll have to pick up the 5th year option in May of the start of before the start of his 4th year. Then you can think about trading him because then you're going to give someone team control of at least 2 seasons or a season and a half. So, sorry. Let's see here. He is backflipping during a route? Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that with people. I see this on giant YouTube and Twitter. I'm like, look at him doing the backflip. He's an athlete. Well, unless you run an out by doing backflips, it doesn't really fucking mean anything to me. And I think if you're going to run an out and he's going to be what you call it. Fields is special, man. He deserves it. Fields is a guy that was projected to be a mid-first rounder. Fields is a guy that his intangibles, when they measured him, just aren't there at NFL level. He's a big body wide receiver, and that's what he's going to be. He's Keenan Coleman. And Keenan Coleman is just as athletic as as Malachi Fields, but like I said, has not found his body. He hasn't found his body. His body has not found the right situation for his as a career yet. So we have to kind of just wait and see. Let's give like I said, I like the pick. I had him projected as a third rounder. I like the player. I think at times intangibles cannot be measured by physical traits. Don't like the compensation. Way too much compensation. Way too much. And then giving future picks and then basically saying you traded Jackson Dart for an additional 2 4s and a 5. Way too much compensation. We needed it. Charlie, you're right. We needed a big body wide receiver. But the problem is you also have a big body wide receiver that runs a 4.65 and is not known for creating separation in college. And like I said, you watch all of his big plays, and his big catches at Notre Dame. Because I always tell people, don't watch the highlights of players because you need to watch the totality of the game, not just a highlight, but go watch his highlights. Go watch Malachi Fields' highlight. Every catch is a contested catch. Every catch, he has 2 guys draped on him. Looks spectacular, but you're kind of like, why didn't he create separation there? But like I said, I don't need him to create separation. I need him to be that big body guy. And like I said, the only problem I have is if you are running a true West Coast offense with Matt Nagy, he doesn't fit because he's not good in space. He's not good in short yardage. Even for his size, he just doesn't have the initial burst. He has the physicality, but he just doesn't have the quickness that he's going to need to get into these shorter routes. If you're going to a longer route, to a longer play, yes, it'll take more time to develop, which is going to be fine for him. Oh, we just getting OBJ. Bye, Hyatt. No, OBJ is not coming now. Let's see here. Giant fans comparing Malachi Fields to Pleckle Paris is pretty freaking stupid. It is. I wish I had stupid Giant Twitter posts, but I don't. Maui Wowie said he died. He said he'd die for Jackson Dart. I love Big Francis. I really love Big Francis. I don't know. We have had a ban on buying any Giants gear for the last 3 years in this house. So I haven't bought a hat. I haven't bought a jersey. I haven't bought a shirt. I've been given stuff. I haven't bought anything. So I'm going to buy a Giant jersey. I don't know if it's going to be an Arvell Reese jersey or if I'm just going to go with the Big Francis. I might go Big Francis. Did you guys know Colton Hood at 6'9", coverage snaps, no touchdowns given up? Listen, we haven't even talked about the Colton Hood pick. We haven't even addressed that because that is another pick that I love. That is another pick, even though we have a plethora of defensive backs. That is another pick. If you look at it on the surface, and I know a lot of people may have wanted McCoy, but I'm not going. I didn't go with the injury guy, and I actually had Hood over McCoy, only because of the fact that McCoy missed the entire season with the 2025 season with the ACL. 4.4 speed, legitimate recovery speed. He is the guy that is a press man guy. That's where we've talked about it before. Revis Island had a for sale sign in New York. Colton Hood decided to cut. We decided to draft Colton Hood in the second round. Colton Hood came here, looked around, and said, "You know what? I think I want that island over there because that's what I do well. I am a press cover guy. That's where I live." He gets his hands on you early. 2-hand jam, disrupts the timing, disrupts the route. Keeps the wide out from running clean routes right off the line. But he's also a guy, and this is what I love about his versatility. We always talk about versatility. We talk about what Gary Reason said about he had, some of these players are now more versatile than they are singularly designed in a position. He transitions well into different coverage schemes. He looked comfortable sitting in the cover two, sitting in the flat, carrying the verticals. He plays in isolation. We've talked about it before. Watch his tape at Tennessee. He is a guy, like I said, he's got that closing burst. He's running down. He's running downhill at you. We said it before. We said it a million times before. I always hate talking about it because it's just kind of fucking weird. Talking about a man's hips. He's got fluidity in the hips, which allows him to backpedal and mirror the wide receiver. He mirrors them through his breaks. That's what he does. He's effective, especially against the curls, the comeback routes. He deaccelerates seamlessly. I have multiple cars, and I have the 6.5 Hemi in the 1320 Challenger, and we also have a Porsche. When I try to stop the Challenger at that, I just can't do it. Can't stop it. You get that sucker rolling, I can't fucking stop it. The Porsche, I can stop on a dime and give you 9 cents change. That is this guy. That is Colton Hood. And that's what you need to look at. And that's what you need. You know, his people say he's inconsistent in the run support. He's inconsistent that his tackling mechanics break down. It's not a non-Hellcat. It's referred to as a baby demon. It's the 1320. It's the only street legal dragster ever made. There's 331 of them in existence. It's the 1320. Go look it up. 1320, 6 point. It's actually has the same. It's part of the SRT team from Dodge. It's even got the SRT team sticker inside the engine itself. It's the only one also that has the computerized line lock. It's got all the tracking mechanisms. It's got all the computers. It's referred to as the baby demon. It's actually more rare than the Hellcat. But we're not going to get into that. But people say his tackling mechanics break down. I don't need it, and I've said this before. I'm gonna tell you this, guys. I'm gonna whisper this to you. If you stop him from catching the ball, you don't have to tackle him. Don't tell anyone. That's like secret NFL stuff. Drew Phillips gives up a 72.5 career completion percentage against, but people rave over he makes all the tackles. Well, I'd rather have someone prevent someone from catching the ball than knowing that he's going to make the tackle after he does. But he says not like he's Colton Hood bad at making the tackles. He has mechanical issues that break down. He tends to lunge at the legs a little bit, but that's fine. You can teach this. These are things we can teach. Now, the other problem is he's only got 1 full year as a starter across 3 college programs. But like I've said, he played in the SEC. I'm fine. I think it's a great pick. You brought in a young corner in case one of Paulson Adebo or Drew Phillips or Deontay Banks flames out. Because like I said, I see these guys now as a reclamation project for Denard Wilson, because Denard Wilson has done it throughout his career. So we're good. We're good. I like it. We do really need big body wide receivers. The big body wide receiver is an anomaly now in the NFL at times. This draft class will automatically put fire underclassmen last class draft and the entire roster in training camp. I agree. I think this draft class will put a little giddy, because you know what you did? And for years it didn't work, but you drafted giants. There used to be, going back to the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, there used to be like a game plan for giants. A giant is this. A giant is that. This would be what we refer to as a giant guy. We kind of got away from that the last 5-6 years by picking up guys that were kind of surly, kind of malcontents, but highly talented, questionable in character at times. Now you picked up a bunch of guys that fit the old giant player mold. Hardworking, strong, dependable, good athleticism, good guys, loves their mothers. You picked up giant guys. And I agree. I think this is going to put a fire on some of these guys. I'm looking for a camp battle at corners, DBs, and now wide receiver. That's what I'm looking at. You don't have to be smart to get into Virginia and Notre Dame. Plax went to Michigan State so low. Yeah, you do have to be smart. Notre Dame, I love players that go to Notre Dame. Some of them, majority of them don't pan out well in the NFL, but you got a lot of good winners. But Notre Dame, you have to reach a true standard academically. We talked about Arvell Reese in high school, that his GPA was 0.04. And now he has a 3.7 GPA in Ohio State. How the fuck he got in school, I don't know. But I know how, because he's a tremendous football player. I always laugh when I tell people, my first year in college, it was great because, you take music. You take courses like music appreciation. Great class. They would say, Tim, would you like to hear some music? And I would say, I would appreciate that. Great classes. Something in the water in Virginia. I don't know about that. We're gonna regret keeping him. Mark my. Who are we gonna regret keeping? Oh, let Neighbors. No, Neighbors gonna be fine. Grandpa Simpson walking around with his cane selling pancakes needs to shut the fuck up. Davey says running back is not our high priority list. Yeah, running back kind of is on our priority list. Running back is kind of an issue. Cam Scatterboo's coming off multiple injuries. Tyrone Tracy is Tyrone Tracy is a 500-600 yard back. We now have a track record of it. Devin Singletary is now relegated to a short yardage back. Eric Gray should go write novels somewhere under the name Zane Gray because he's not an NFL player. And Turbo Miller can only run fast. Straight. I loved watching Turbo Miller play in the last preseason game. He bursted around the outside. And we were all like, oh, shit, here we go. Turbo time. Got around the tackle. Linebacker came up and literally just tapped him. Motherfucker flew 47 yards into the sideline. He's just got straight line speed. That's why they call him Turbo. Yeah, Tim, if you watch college football, you will hear 200 times X player is going to be a first round pick. Yeah, and then it doesn't happen. Broken says, I've heard the comparison of Fields to Pittman, but it's misleading. Average depth of target for Fields is 16.9. Pittman's between 8 and 9 yards. Which one plays in the NFL? Just asking. And I like Michael Pittman Jr. I met Michael Pittman Jr. in Texas at the Senior Bowl when he was coming out. I like him. But you can't give me your average depth in college and compare it to average depth in the pros. Also has to do with the system, also has to do with the quarterback, also has to do with who is also on your team. His game speed was strong amongst the typical wide receivers, according to John Harbaugh, at least. There is a difference between speed and game speed, 1,000%. I agree, 1,000. I know, like I said, I like Malachi Fields. Third round pick, he was a third round talent. Projected early on as a mid-first rounder, as the season went on, as he went to the combine, as he did different things, as he did his own workouts, the athletic measurables and speed weren't there, so we dropped. So most players all dropped down to the third round pick. Like I said, I just don't like trading 2 4s and a 5 to go up 30 spots. That's insanity at its finest. But like I said, I'm not blaming the kid for that. Neighbors ran his mouth when he first got here. Then he questioned us getting a dart over Sanders. Now he's running his mouth on the first day of the draft. Neighbors and selfish players should get rid of him. You're not going to get rid of him size 9 because he's a talented player. That's the difference. He's uber talented. You're not going to get rid of a guy that's uber talented until he truly becomes an issue like Dexter Lawrence, and then you get him a bus ticket to Cleveland. But he's uber talented, so you're going to have to deal with his issues. And I think Malik Neighbors, Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo, and a couple other guys need to call Zay Flowers up and say, what is this going to be like? Because Zay Flowers will tell you that John Harbaugh has one of the most difficult, most demanding training camps out there. That's why I'm kind of pissed they're going to West Virginia. Because I would have loved to spend 7 days at training camp and watch this. Someone's like, well, you should go to West Virginia. No, why am I going to go to West Virginia? No, it's in West Virginia? West Virginia. That's what's in West Virginia. West Virginia's in West Virginia. I don't need to go to West Virginia. I can go see Zach. West Virginia's not that far. But I'm not going to West Virginia. How far is West Virginia? Hold on. Let me see how far West Virginia is. Let me see how far West Virginia is from me. It's the rolling hills of West Virginia. It's not that bad because Pittsburgh's pretty far from me. West Virginia from me is, let's see here. How's the crow? I'm not fucking going to West Virginia. If I could fly to West Virginia, I would. I'm not driving 7 hours to go to West Virginia. Another 10 hours, I could be in Florida. No, I'm not going to West Virginia. Colton Hood. Justin Tuck is the Irish. You're right. Joe Ferry says you don't need separation where you're mossing people at 6'4", 200 strong as fuck. Yeah, you do. Because there's a lot of corners and safeties that are strong as fuck. There's a difference. Pinning your A's, your ass to the sidelines. There you go. Funky Town. What's going on, Funky Town? Malcolm Floyd comparison, another Notre Dame guy. You know, do I think he is a Malcolm Floyd? Oh my God, a Malcolm Floyd. Dude, you're pulling shit out of your ass on that one. Malcolm Floyd. Malcolm Floyd was 6'5" something. And good wide receiver, not a great wide receiver for the Chargers for years. But I thought Malcolm Floyd went to Wyoming. Oh, I thought you're just comparing him as a player, not as a Notre Dame product. Malcolm Floyd, 5,000 yards receiving, played in the league for 11 years. The only season he had, best season he had was 859 yards. He only had 34 career touchdowns. Was never a full-time starter until his second to last season. If he came out to be Malcolm Floyd, what a fucking name. Funky Town, what a fucking name. If he came out to be Malcolm Floyd, I'd be all right with that. I think certain segment of Giant fans and content creators would, but I'd be fine with that. Didn't Jerry Rice have a brutal burst? Didn't have initial burst or speed right in draft? No, he didn't. We've said about this. We said literally right now, Davey, I just checked my clock, and Jerry Rice just finished running his college 40. That's how slow he clocked in. But Jerry Rice was a football player, and that's what we said. There's a difference between being an athlete and a football player, and I think that Malachi Fields is a football player. You haven't bought it. No, I haven't bought a jersey in years. I haven't bought a jersey. I don't know. I might go Big Francis because I think I could fill out a Big Francis jersey. Let's see here. Best corner in the draft. Do I think that Hood was the best corner in the draft? No. Do I think he is the best corner in the draft that fits the Giants that was available? Yes. I do think that the kid that went to KC and Terrell were probably a step better, but not by much. I'm not talking this huge difference. I'm not talking about this huge. I'm just talking a little step better. But I can't say he's the best in the draft. Joe Ferry says, I'm going to New Jersey to buy a New Jersey. Every catch is contested. Simply not true. Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape and come back, Dylan. I'll wait. Go watch the tape and tell me how many of I didn't say all the plays. I said the majority of the plays that you see in his highlight plays are with two guys draped on him and him in the middle. Go watch the play. I'll wait. We're all going to wait for Dylan. Go watch the tape and come back. I got time. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. All the time in the world. Ba-da-da-da-da. We had a great draft last year. I don't know what one we have this year. We did not have a great draft last year. You cannot judge a draft after one season. I love that I remember all the Giant content creators. We had a generational draft. Kayvon Thibodeau, Evan Neal, Joshua Zuda, Cordell Flott, Dane Bellinger, Micah McFadden, DJ Davison, Marcus McKeithen, and Darren Beavers. We had a draft that transitioned all the other drafts the Giants have ever had. Darren Beavers was out of the league after year one. McKeithen, gone. DJ Davidson, gone. Micah McFadden, 13.9% missed tackle percentage. Dane Belton, gone. Daniel Bellinger, gone. Cordell Flott, gone. Joshua Zuda hanging on by a thread. Wanda Robinson, gone. Evan Neal under a veteran minimum contract, probably should be gone. Kayvon Thibodeau, gone. By next year, you will have nobody on this roster from the 2022 draft. Nobody. 2023, we trade up one spot to get Deonte Banks. He's holding on by a thread. JMS, an undersized center who will probably be replaced. Jalen Hyatt will be gone. Eric Gray will be gone. Trey Hawkins, gone. Jordan Riley, gone. Jervisus Owens, gone. Remember when everyone told us what a great player Jordan Riley was going to be, how Andre Patterson was going to mold him into the next great Giants defensive tackle? He's playing in Green Bay. Going back 24, Darius Muasau should be a special teams player. Tyrone Tracy is a 500-yard running back. Theo Johnson's a fucking knucklehead. Drew Phillips is hanging on by a thread in his 72.9% completion percentage against Tyrone Nubin. Oh, God. Just because you're the best safety in the draft does not mean you're a good safety. He should be gone. And Malik Neighbors, people already want to trade. Corey Black was horrid. Thomas, the tight end, was horrid. Marcus Bowe, we have no idea yet. Cam Scatterboot coming off a devastating injury. Darius Alexander, even though he had more sacks or just the same amount of sacks of his half a sack less than Abdul Carter. Jackson Dart, we don't know about Jackson Dart yet. And Abdul Carter, we don't know about either. So I like the people to tell me all about these revolutionary drafts that we have when it takes at least 3 to 4 years to project a draft. I don't know if other people do it because I can't do it. I got to wait. Let's see. Hood will be a steal in the draft. He is a dog. I like Hood a lot. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I like that. The stadium is going to get rowdy this season. I think the stadium is going to get rowdy if they win. I think some of these players are going to have a hard time adjusting after years of Dable in his wackiness. I think a lot of these players are going to have a hard time adjusting to being NFL professionals and being held accountable. We already know who's in charge. We already know. It's John Harbaugh. Dexter Lawrence. I don't want more money. I don't want to be here. Well, here's a bus ticket to fucking Cincinnati. So there's going to be a lot of players this year on notice. You need, like I said, go talk to Zay Flowers. You need to perform. You need to be expected to do what your job is. And then you can do whatever you want to do. But beyond that, this is what you need to do. Non-Hellcat. No, it is referred to as a baby demon. It is the 1320. It is actually more rare than the Hellcat. And it runs off the same suspension, also runs off the same frame, also runs off the same engine with the 6.4 liter Hemi, the SRT. But the problem is this, it doesn't have the blower.
That's what she said.
Big Jack Freeman says, love the Illinois player too. My diehard Illinois fans think he's going to be a good guard in the NFL level. I don't talk about undrafted free agents. I don't. Giants, and we're going to talk about an undrafted free agent now. What does Mr. Ross say? I told you guys that the 3 6-round picks would get some talented. I don't know if these guys are talented. Let's be honest. Big Jack did not show any progression as more of a pass rusher. I like the defensive tackle a lot. The offensive lineman, you take an offensive lineman in the sixth round, you're taking a crapshoot. I don't know what they're going to be yet. I wish I knew. That car is just for a street quarter mile on a highway. Hellcat. No. I don't want to get into that because I don't want to get it. Because the problem is this. There's a computer on this thing and it measures and monitors and keeps everything in the system. And the problem is this, Joe. I'm going to tell you something right now. Coming off the line, the quarter mile is important. You could play catch up, but if I take you off the quarter mile, you got a long way to go to play catch up. I love when Teslas, who have these big engines, have 2 engines in this, they try to run up my ass. I always have people try to run up my ass in this car, which I love because it's got the little angry bee on the back, and they see that, they just get mad. They just get frustrated, like, oh, he's got the angry bee. He's got the 1320. He thinks he's special. Then when I step on it and they're 4.5 hours behind me, they understand why. Timmy's a great tackler. He's our Hall of Fame slot DB. Also, there's no Hall of Fame slot DB in the front. Yes, you're right. I used to hate you. Oh, God. Let me sit up for this. Used to hate me. Oh, wait, that means you might like me. I used to hate you, Tim, but you were just real and I didn't like it. You grew on me a lot. Keep up the good work, brother. Well, thank you. Thank you, HW Kid, our Kidful. I'm just being real, guys. Like I said, and this is why we were laughing on the streams the other day. People were like, you know what kills me? Tim's being happy and Tim's being ecstatic about the Giants draft and all these things they're doing. We don't like it. we don't like it because this isn't what we're supposed to be. We're not supposed to be this way. You're supposed to be this mean, sullen old man that hates everything. Now you love everything the Giants are, well, the majority of the things that they're doing. Love most of the things the Giants are doing. And I love it because people are like, well, here's what's fucking screwing with my brain. If he likes all this stuff and he's been right about everything else for the last 5 years, is he right about this? Yes. Trust me, I sit there too. I'm like,
I don't like it. Make me feel all funny.
Makes me fucking feel all funny liking things. I'm supposed to be the harbinger of gloom and doom, but now I'm sitting there and I'm agreeing with Gary Myers. This team is closer to a 9-win team than it is a 4-win team. Even now, more so. And for the idiots that don't like this draft, well, you're a bunch of fucking morons. Especially the first 2 picks. Tennessee guys are shaky. The first few years, shaky ain't the word for our friend and brother, Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt needs to go work at the Hilton. Charlie says, gotta see them prove it first before the Big Blue Wrecking Crew phrases comes back. Oh, we got a long way before that. We got the Big Blue Wrecking Crew right behind me. Chode Sports. We always love Chode Sports. Chode Sports said we should have drafted a quarterback. You're joking about that. I know that. Jack Kelly, listen, guys, Jack Kelly's a pass rusher. Jack Kelly's a guy from BYU. Jack Kelly's a guy that his game did not improve from 24 to 25. He doesn't tackle well in space, which you kind of need to do when you're a linebacker. He'll be proficient if put in the correct rush blitz packages. He's probably going to be a special teams player, but if you think Jack Kelly's going to come in here and make a difference within this linebacking core, no, he's not. He's probably going to be a 53 guy, which is the last man on the roster, and be on the practice squad. And there's nothing wrong with that. Jonah Coleman would have been nice at 108. Yeah, well, probably would. Oh, Michael Pittman Jr., friend of the show. He's not a friend of the show. He came, this was years ago. This is when he came out of college. We actually went to the Senior Bowl this was when we just started doing the channel. We went as a guest, and we weren't really covering anything for the channel because I started the channel, but I didn't really put any videos out because I never wanted to do this. This wasn't what I wanted to do. This channel was built for a friend, and we did the initial show together. And then he said, no, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, you didn't do it yet. You didn't even do a show. You did a practice show. Now you're quitting. So I was like, well, fuck it. I did all this work. I might as well do some episodes. Holy crap. Can we just be happy for one draft? I love you, brother James. You know that, and you're right. Clocked his game speed at 22 miles an hour a few times during the season fields. Okay. I love these advanced stats by Amazon. I love these advanced stats. Because I also clocked his piss at almost 47 miles per hour coming out of his dick. Those stats are so arbitrary and so stupid. They make Pro Football Focus at times look like they're geniuses. I love this. He's got the game speed of a cheetah. Okay. You know I love you, Mike. You know I love you, brother. But that's you know I love you. Isaiah Rogers, GM Tim, just joined late. Tim, what would you rate the draft? Those 6-round picks were reached. I don't think the 6-round picks were reached. I think they were 6-round picks. I've said it before. I'm going to have to get this sound effect. I give it a Billy Bob from Varsity Blues. I give it a 10. I give it a 10. The only thing I don't like about the draft is the compensation for Malachi Fields. That's the only thing I don't like in the draft. And I love how people are arguing me or defending Malachi Fields when I said it's the right pick. I said it's a good pick. I said it's a smart pick. I just don't like 2 4s and a 5 to go up 30 spots. For a guy that does not have speed, to a guy that was a first rounder, but then his athletic intangibles in regards to football dropped him to the 3rd round, and he was a 3rd round pick. I had him on the 3rd round board. A lot of people on the 3rd round board. He went where he was supposed to go. Neighbors does need to drink a big tall glass. Shut the fuck up. Plex in one season did more than Fields' entire college career. You got to remember, this guy is a 5-year player in college. He played 4 years at Virginia, then once at Notre Dame. The only stat that was improved over his previous 4 years was a 17.5 reception percent. His percentage, his per catch percentage was a 17. That was the only stat that was improved. 6th round reach, you can't take much. Yeah, 6th round reach to me are 6th and 7th round guys to me are undrafted free agents that you want to secure. Unless it's a guy with medical, unless it's a guy that's got drug issues, unless it's a guy that's, robbed banks. They're 6 and 7 round guys in my mind are roster filler guys that you love as an undrafted free agent and you don't want to compete for on the open market. Jeff Hostetler was from West Virginia. You're right. No, it's 6.5 hours for me. I'm not doing 7 hours. I'm not doing 7 hours in the car to go to Giant Camp. And I don't even know if Giant Camp is open. I don't know how they're doing this. They're going to do it like they did in upstate New York, which was great. Because if they did that, maybe I take a week off and go to West Virginia. But it's going to be kind of hard to convince the wife. Hey, wife, let's not go to the Bahamas. Let's not go to Italy. Let's not go to hell. Let's not even go to Miami. Let's go. I'm going to take you to the hottest vacation spot in 2026. You know where we're going? West Virginia. Mountain Mama, take me home. Country road. James Williams said, people are mad at a 20-year-old athlete who was on a podcast writing his jibs. That's the way the world is now, kids. Unfortunately, you're right. You're right. How about moving Neal to left guard? Listen, I don't even know if Neal can play guard yet. I know he can't play tackle. I'm actually thinking about moving Evan Neal to center. Evan Neal is an athletic guy. Evan Neal has the intangibles. But then we talk about this before. Evan Neal's not a football player. And this is why I love this draft. We did not draft just perceived on athletic talent. We drafted football players. That's what we did. We drafted football players. Glad the Giants signed offensive lineman J.C. Davis. We keep the pipeline full. Yeah, you got to just do that. That's what you're doing. Williams says Giant fans talking about getting rid of neighbors should be banned from commenting on YouTube for 1 year. You can't get rid of. Oh, Riley. Yeah, Riley's over in Green Bay. I know that's all like Green Bay. He's over in Green Bay. No, you can't. It just makes my fucking head hurt. Yeah, he's still in the league. This draft will be the draft that we said we started in the right to ship. You're right. He wins the intermediate routes and was asked to play a specific role at Notre Dame. We'll see more consistent. He's more than I didn't say he's. Why don't people get? I'm not fucking arguing with you. Here's the problem. As my good friend Roy used to say, we've said it on this 1,000,000 times before, don't piss down my leg and tell me it's raining. He's a 3rd round guy. He's a 6'4" guy with 4.65 speed. He's not a pure athlete. You could do a backflip, does not make you an athlete. He is a guy that is known for contested catches all through his career from Virginia for 4 seasons. You are placating his play on 1 season at Notre Dame. We forgot these other 4 because he's been in college for 5 years. No one's saying that he's not going to come in here and do his job and do it well. But if you're going to sit down here and piss down my leg and tell me it's fucking raining, no. Sorry. Nobody's arguing. I literally could say, I literally said, great pick. Makes sense for the Giants. Football player. But I'm not giving up 2 4s and a 5 to move up 30 spots into the third round. Your head coach even says, yeah, we got a big gap between picks, which tells me a little bit at times he saw Joe Schoen make a deal. And Joe Schoen was like, how many picks can I give up for a third rounder? 7? Is 7 picks too many? Oh, dear Lord. Likely would not be with the Giants that long. No, likely he's going to be here for 4 years. He's not going back. Williams said, this is why Tim is so upset about trading late round picks to get Fields. F them picks. And I'm upset about it because of the fact that you traded money picks. 2 4s and a 5 are money picks. You build your roster. And most general managers will tell you this. And I've talked to actual physical general managers who were in the league and work in the league will tell you, you build your team, you fill your roster with your 3rd, 4th, and 5th round picks. Because they are money picks. They are non-guaranteed picks. After your first 2 rounds, only a portion of the 3rd round picks money is guaranteed. Basically, almost none of the money in your 4th and 5th round picks are guaranteed. Those are guys that fill your rosters. Those are guys you build in the starting spaces. Those are the guys that you build your foundations with. You gave up 2 4s and a 5 for a 3rd rounder in a wide receiver room that really did not need Malachi Fields. What you did in free agency, what you did with Isaiah Likely, what you did with Darnell Mooney, where does Malachi Fields fit? You still have Malik Neighbors. You still have Darius Slayton. You still have Theo Johnson. You still have Isaiah Hodgkins, who people love. You have a full wide receiver room. You brought in a 6'4" wide receiver who is a football player to fill what role? Isaiah Likely, who is just as big, just as strong, and fast, plays all over the place. He played over 270 snaps in the slot last year. He could play on the outside. He could play on the inside. You have Theo Johnson, who is more of an athlete right now than a football player. But if he gets his head screwed on right and figures out his fucking game, he could not be another guy that plays on the outside, plays on the inside, can play everywhere. Darnell Mooney, best season came his 2nd season in the league under the tutelage of whom? Matt Nagy, in the Matt Nagy system. And he's a speed guy that can create separation. Then you have Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is your star. Darius Slayton you may hate, but Darius Slayton is still a professional wide receiver. Can't fucking catch the ball, but he's still a professional wide receiver. And can create separation and get open deep. You cannot tell me that Malachi Fields plays well in short yardage. You can't. The tape says that. Scouts say that. General managers say that. But someone watching film on YouTube cannot tell me he plays well in short yardage situation because he does take an elongated period of time getting off the line because of his lack of perceived quickness. He needs to use more of his hands and his strength to create separation in deeper patterns. You can't tell me these things because they're not true. And that's the problem. You cannot tell me, and you cannot tell me this stuff about him because if you are just making shit up. I've talked to, we've, like I said, and I think him in the 3rd round is projected 3rd round value, 1,000%. And I think he should have been taken in the 3rd round. On most people's boards, Malachi Fields was anywhere between 13 and 16. He's a throwback guy. He is an old-time football wide receiver from the 80s and the 90s. But everyone will tell you he gets off the line slow against press coverage. He lacks the true release package, the lateral quickness, and the variety of moves that is consistently needed to beat defenders outside of hand-to-hand corner, snap by snap. That's what it is. And like I said, his route tree going into the NFL is probably going to be limited because this is a guy, if you actually watch film, he rounds off his breaks way too often. and he lacks the true foot speed and quickness to create and consistently generate his own separation on sharper breaking patterns. Again, this is stuff you can watch on film. And if you take a look at his production on the short underneath routes, it's noticeably less dynamic than he does on the bigger outside plays, because he doesn't have the initial burst or the lateral agility to be dangerous in the screen game or on the quick hitters. We used to laugh about Hakeem Nicks. Second year in the league, maybe it was his rookie season. Kevin Gilbride hit Hakeem Nicks on a quick hitter, on a quick out, a quick screen on the outside. Hit him right off the bat, and Hakeem Nicks took it 70 yards for a touchdown. So every play during that season for like 9 games, maybe it was 8 games, I don't remember. There was always that hitch play to Hakeem Nicks. It failed every single time because the league fucking figured out, okay, when he's out there, we're just going to put 2 guys out there, we're done. But he had the speed and the burst to get around those guys on those quick hitters. Malachi Fields, if you watch his tape in college, you watch him going back to, I know it's fucking crazy, you watch him going back to Virginia. That's not his game. But I don't need that to be his game. I need him to play a role in the offense. Colton Hood was by far the best press corner. Yeah, I agree with that. Wilson loves press guys. Don't go by what Wilson did Denard Wilson did at Tennessee. Look at the players that he offered his tutelage to when he was a defensive back coach. People don't talk about the fact that he resurrected the career of James Bradbury in Philadelphia and Big Play Slay and Darius Slay. That first season in Philadelphia, James Bradbury was a Pro Bowler, almost all pro. People forget about that. He has that knack, and that's what we hope for. John is a good coach. I agree. No, it's not a stick shift. It's not a stick shift because you don't need a stick shift. That's why you have the line lock. That's why you have the computerized line lock. James Williams says Neighbors literally our best offensive players to at least stop the hate train. I agree. Listen, I agree 100%. I think Malik Neighbors needs to take a big tall glass, shut the fuck up, and play some football. Let's play some football. That's what I think. But he's also your best offensive weapon. When you are the best offensive weapon, you at times can be a fucking knucklehead and say stupid shit. But the problem is this: once you get in that building, the stupid shit train is probably going to stop at Station Hardball. Ask Dave Flowers. Ask Hollywood Brown. Ask some of these ask OBJ. Homie don't play that. Harbaugh don't play that. Oh, let's see here. John Harbaugh says he is DJ Reader from his days with the Bengals. J.C. Davis will be a steal. Why? And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm just asking, why is he going to be a steal? If someone waits till the 6th round, 190-something pick, what's going to make him a steal? He was such a high-level prospect that most people had him as an undrafted free agent. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just asking a question. I'm asking a serious question. On most draft boards, he was ranked. Where was he ranked? Let's see here. Most draft board, his overall ranking was 137. Positional ranking was 37 for offensive linemen, not just tackles, but all offensive linemen. Just asking. I like his size. I like his frame. I think he reads the gap exchange well. He won't get caught on a twist. I think he's effective in the trenches. I think he's going to be effective as going up against counter rushers. He's good as a drive power blocker. He's not great. He's patient, which I like, because that's what you need to be patient on the spin moves. You don't lunge. You don't overcommit. His lateral quickness is not there, but he has enough to mirror the inside counter. He had 49 consecutive starts across 3 programs, which tells me he's durable. The only problem is if you watch him play, he leads way too often with his head and chest. which basically compromises his base. In other words, it puts him off balance and it leaves him susceptible to be pushed backwards. Hand placement, I would say inconsistent at best. He's one of those guys that he opens up his hips a little bit too prematurely.
That's what she said.
Which, when you do that against speed rushers, just ask the venerable Evan Neal, they go by. He overextends a lot. He doesn't have any issues for recovery. And honestly, at the point of attack, he is not the strongest guy, and he doesn't have a consistent pop. That's why he's a 6th rounder. Is he an A? I mean, am I putting him in as an A gap or a power heavy run game? I mean, yeah. I mean, that's probably where I would put him. I'm not using him as a pass blocker. You know, to me, he's going to be a swing. He's a 6th rounder who could potentially be a swing tackle. And there's nothing wrong with that because, like I said, he's a 6th round pick. I'm not going to dog a guy because he's a 6th round pick, but that's what he is. He's a 6th round pick. But again, like I said, we get all excited about these guys in the 6th round, and then when they're gone and they're Darren Beavers or McKeithen or any of these guys, people are upset that they didn't pan out. That's all right. It's all right. Same as Harbaugh. They are both Hall of Fame coaches. Oh, Andy Reid. Andy Reid. Who knew Andy Reid would win 3 Super Bowls? Well, he did go to Super Bowl in Philadelphia. Or did he go to 2 Super Bowls in Philadelphia? I don't remember. But he did go. Likely would not go. Likely would not go to the Ships. He didn't like the Cheeks, and the Chiefs fans didn't like him. I agree with that. Joe Ferry's Tibbs, you should have gone to Plymouth Prowler. I like the way the Plymouth Prowlers look, but there's not much under the hood. Sorry. You throw cups. They throw cups of water. Content creators hate trading out of picks because they can't stream. Hell, we streamed. It was fun too. I think we had a great stream the other day. Like I said, the Giants have an A+ draft. And for all the people that sit there and still want to argue with me about Malachi Fields, even though I said he's the perfect pick at 3, it makes sense for the Giants. I think he's going to be a good player because I don't like the fact that you gave up 2 4s and a 5 in a money draft, and your teams are built through your 4th and 5th rounders. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Jay Fed says, Tim, when is Tim going to announce a Giant draft pick? Yeah, I thought that would be great. I want to announce a Giant draft pick. I think the best part of the show and was when we had Joe Spano on, and they were doing the they had the kids announcing the picks, and he was making fun of the kid until James Williams said, that's a Make-A-Wish kid. I told Joe, I said, listen, even on this show, we don't make fun of Make-A-Wish kids. I know we're assholes, but even we don't do that. But I thought that was classic New York Giants straight talk moment. Tim the dog will like West Virginia. It's 7 hours. I'm not taking the truck. I'm not taking the Challenger. I'm not taking any of the other cars. I don't have a car that's a 7-hour car. I would have to rent a car. I don't have a car that's a 7-hour car. My cars are, my car, the truck, and the other cars, they're impractical. My cars are impractical. My wife's car's not. My cars are impractical. And I know that. Listen, could you imagine taking a Dodge Challenger 1320 on a 7-hour ride? I get 3.5 miles to the gallon on a good day. Danny Fala, it'll be your starting guard. I don't know. I do think Big France is going to slide right in. Hoping Fields isn't Ramsey Barton, the other great drive. He's not Ramsey Barton. He is not. I'm going to say this right now. That is a great comparison. But he's not Ramsey Barton. He's not. Ramsey Barton was this guy when he came into the league, 6'6", 224 pounds. He played at Cal Poly. Ramsey Barton's got a Super Bowl ring. People forget about that. He's got a Super Bowl ring. But he was a guy that he had 2 good seasons at Cal Poly, but the level of competition at Cal Poly is just not there. Notre Dame, even though they're an independent, they play people. He had that one breakout game, Carolina, where he had 9 catches for like 140 yards, but then we didn't see from him again. We re-signed him in 2013. He was a guy, though, that did not have an initial burst off the line. He was just a big body target, but you never found a space. Kevin says hope all is well. Everything's pretty good. It's all right. Nobody mad the Eagles and Cowboys. Nobody mad that the Eagles and Cowboys. I think the Eagles and Cowboys had both a good draft. I'd be more mad about and more upset about that. Do you know why? Do you know why I know we had a good draft? Do you want to know why I know why we had a good draft? Do you really want to know why? I'm going to tell you why. And we have 230 people watching us. We only have 108 likes. Let's get to 150 likes. I was going to stream tomorrow at 10, 11, but now 150 likes. I'm not streaming again. I probably still will, but I'm just lying. I'm just trying to sound cool. Yeah, man. We just need those likes, man. You know how I know we had a good draft? I go and I watch shorts on YouTube because I can't watch more than 45 seconds because I get bored easily. But Eagle, Cowboy, and Commanders fans are complaining about our draft. They are complaining about our draft to the point that they are complaining and upset because our first 3 picks we hit out of the park. That our first 3 picks are so potentially this season franchise altering if all 3 come to fruition. The Giants added 3 starters out of the 53-man roster in 2 days. And for Eagle, Cowboy, and Commander fans to be so upset about our first 3 picks, we did something right. What is considered a solid season? You know what the thing is with people? Some people just want to prove a point when there's no point needed to be proven. No college player has ever had an excelling season or a great season with a bad quarterback. No person has ever had that, right? Is that what we're saying? He never cracked over 800 yards, and he was playing in the ACC. He was playing in the ACC. Well, we don't want to talk about that, right? We don't want to talk about that. His claim to fame was the fact that he gets downfield. Can we just put Joe Schoen, shame, out the pasture? No buyers on Kayvon Thibodeau, huh? Would you want to buy Kayvon Thibodeau? I wouldn't want to buy Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't even want to sell Kayvon Thibodeau. Joe Ferry says those late picks, especially this year, are pretty worthless. It's a bad draft this year, guys. It is. It's a bad draft. Most prognosticators will tell you this is a bad draft. This is probably one of the worst drafts we've seen in 20 years. But like I said, the talent in this draft does fall in the Giant wheelhouse. You're not a Giant fan. That's all right. You don't have to be a Giant fan to be here. I'm not a Giant fan. I'm just here. It's all right. You don't have to be a Giant fan. We like non-Giant fans. It's all good. Abdul Carr doesn't have any power.
Get
Arvell Reese has the power, but he doesn't have the power. Reese and Abdul Carr are 2 different players. They are totally 2 different players. Totally 2 different players. I don't give a fuck about the stats either. You watch a game and Carter had big impact. What big impact? It has nothing to do with the stats. I watched Abdul Carter get shot putted backwards by offensive linemen all season long. You can sit there and be
king of the almost sack.
But sooner or later, you got to get to the quarterback, and you can't play the run. He's at liability and deficiency in run, ergo 5.7 yards per carry. I love the draft overall, too. I agree 100%. I love the draft overall. Fields can get separation within the route, but he's slow off the line. He won't be a great separation until he can improve his release, get his foot speed up, and you can use him and his length after that. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. But the problem is the Matt Nagy offense is a short yardage, use the pass as a run offense. And he doesn't play well in short yard situations or in small spaces. He is a stride guy. He is a guy that needs to get out. He needs to get out of his route. He does not get out of his route quickly, but when he does, he can be effective. And there's nothing wrong with that because we have a lot of scat back. We have a lot of speed guys. We have a lot of quick guys. Sometimes, and I've been saying, like I said, I need the big James Williams. Come on the show. I know you're out there, James. There's the link in the chat. Come on the show, James. It's an A+ draft. It is truly an A+ draft. This is how it is with recent buy-ins. If you're never a fan of Carter in the first place, Joe still thinks he could be an impactful player, but it's not recently biased to say Reese is a better prospect. I do think Reese is a better prospect than Abdul Carter. Reese knows how to tackle. Reese is a big body player. You look at Reese and I'm like, okay, I look at him, you know, and then I see him, and then I see him, and then I see this. Just saying, not a big body guy. And I've said it before. He is the player. He is the player that you thought we were going to get in Abdul Carter. What grade did Ricky give us? You mean Ricky Scoops, the guy that gets everything wrong and then disappears and then says, well, you know, we heard this was happening, but, you know, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I know what happened is you go listen to sports radio and other markets, and then you use that as your knowledge. Not that difficult to figure it out. The common thing amongst these picks is physicality. Robin, the common theme in all these picks is they are football players. They are football players. We are not looking at athletes that play football. These are true football players, top to bottom. You got guys that are football players. That's it. Plain and simple. You picked a team finally of guys that I don't have to hear. Well, their measurables are all. This is why I don't have a problem with the Malachi Fields pick. And this is why people, I don't know why you want to argue about it, because there's nothing to argue about. We've heard for 4 years that we have picked guys whose athletic measurables are off the chart. These guys have all the athletic measurables, but just too bad they're not football players. Abdul Carter is not a football player. Sorry. He's a guy with speed that plays football. And you took him way too high. I've already said, you take him in the third round. I already said it that there were two players in last year's draft that have bust written all over them. That's Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. You took a football player in Arvell Reese. You took a football player in Big Francis. You took a football player in Hood. You took a football player in Malachi Fields. You took football players that add an intangible to the team that in the long run, in a role in their first season, will make them able and competitive to help compete and help offer the Giants the ability to win games. That's what we do. You took football players. And that's what the Giants haven't done in years. Going back to Matt from Connecticut, we took athletes. We took guys that had few years experience in positions, who played in small colleges, who will sit there and tell you they're off the charts athletically, but they can't play football. James left. I didn't know if James had pants on, so I made sure I clicked back off. Oh, he's got pants on. I saw you get up.
Oh no, I always have pants on before I. I've seen too.
I was like, does he have pants on? I gotta quickly jump out of there if he doesn't have pants on.
I've seen too many accidents during COVID.
Have you noticed the theme about what I'm wearing today?
Listen, I love you, but I tell you all the time. This is like I tell everybody here in the chat. I'm not impressed when a dog wags its tail. That's what it's supposed to do.
When the dog is a cat, I'm real impressed.
The cat's been more impressive than the dog. How about that?
He has been, but he's wagging his tail, and he's a cat.
Actually, he's just purring very loudly. Thank God.
You got a triple-double? You're not purring loudly.
But you don't.
In the place, brother.
The guy trips into double-doubles. It's the weirdest thing. He'll average a double-double. You'll be like, yeah, 20 and 10? Really? When did that happen?
Did you see the text I sent you about the out of bounds call?
Yes, but I love the father getting on the son more. Thank God. Again, some parents are, if you grew up in a black household or Irish household or a Hispanic household, certain,
mad.
It's like that's what's going to happen in public once in a while. You're going to get the.
And Jalen Brunson thought to himself, national television, I'm going to go yell at my father, who was a coach of the Knicks, and Rick Brunson. I'm going to go yell at him. Yeah, Jalen, that did not work out well.
First of all, he exposed it because he had the towel and he was doing it. Daddy, I'm just saying. He was no.
Oh, son, be a man.
Like, God damn it.
Carter was the best player in last year's draft. Okay, so statistically,
excuse me,
impact-wise, what happened?
Joe, I love you, brother. Have you started that 12 case without me? Have you started best player in the draft?
Have you started the Coors Light? You could literally say, if you wanted to, but I wouldn't. But you could literally make an argument that Jackson Dart was the best player in the draft.
Abdul Carter wasn't even the best defensive player in that draft last year.
He wasn't even the best defensive player on his team.
What? Joe, I know you like the kid, but brother. No.
Let's.
Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
He wasn't even the best rookie on his team.
You know what? I was setting up. You know what I want Giants fans to do when Tim is done with his stream and you guys have time today? Go back and watch the draft walkouts of Kayvon Thibodeau and Abdul Carter, and then go watch Arvell Reese and how he walked out.
Yeah.
Arvell Reese walked out like he was about to go into a boxing match.
Yep.
Abdul Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau walked out like they were about to meet TMZ cameras.
Yep.
Kayvon Thibodeau literally came out dancing. I watched it just now with my girl. He's doing the stirring the pot with the finger, whatever the hell that means. I'm telling you, this draft, we actually got real football players. Did you see the Samoan? He said, I would die for this. Okay, brother, that's a little too much, but I know what you mean. The other black kid, right, the other black kid, Hood, sitting next to his mama, what did he do? He started crying. I'm telling y'all right now, you guys would walk into a strip club, get free lap dances, and complain about the pretzels. Holy crap, what is wrong with some of y'all? Relax.
They have pretzels in the strip club?
Exactly. Who's thinking about the pretzels in the strip club? Some of you. Neighbor's been on a podcast and he's running his mouth. Wow, you mean a 21-year-old kid has a voiced out opinion in today's society where he has a million outlets to go on, including one of our division rivals who has a podcast, and I don't know why he has a podcast? Holy crap. The pretzels are too salty in here. Hold on. Ginger, get off my lap.
I need to talk to the manager.
I need to talk to the manager. These are not vegan pretzels.
Huh? I've asked for honey salted pretzels.
My God.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Yo, you know what, Tim? You are the voice of reason. This is sad. Darth Vader has become Yoda.
I know. I keep saying this over and over again. People keep telling me the villain has become the hero.
Like some of this, what are we doing? We just had probably the best draft we've had in about 5 years.
More than 5 years, we have had the best draft we have had. We have brought in talented, to your point, football players. And then people send me these clips from these other shows, and I love people because they now just send me clips because they know I'm not going to watch the whole fucking thing. Because when you tell me, listen, you send me a whole video and go to 4 minutes and 38 seconds. I'm too lazy. I'm not going to do that. Just cut out where I'm supposed to go, and then I'll watch it. But I watch these people upset about taking Big Francis, upset about the best defensive player falling to you at 5. When I go back and look at drafts of Kadarius Toney, Azeez Ojulari, Aaron Robinson, Emerson Smith, Gary Brightwell, and Rodarius Williams. When I look at Randy Barton, Marcus McKeith, and DJ Davidson, Micah McFadden, Dane Bell, and Dane Bellinger, Cordell Flores, Joshua Nazuda, Wandale Robinson, Evan Neal, and Kayvon Thibodeau. When I got to go back and look at drafts of Dexter Lawrence, Daniel Jones, Deontay Baker, O'Shane Zimenez, Ryan Conley, Darius Slayton, Corey Ballantyne, George Asa, and Chris Slayton. You literally had the best draft that you have had since I can't even remember since when. And they're complaining that you got 2 of the top 5 players in the entire draft within the first 10 picks. And they're complaining because we let a guy we let a guy go to Dallas, and you wanted to draft him just so he wouldn't go to Dallas. How fucking stupid does that sound? You don't take a player. And Caleb Downs, you have a guy that played against Troy Polamalu twice in his division, who went out and got Kyle Hamilton, who had I can't remember the other guy right now because I'm so upset, who had, what's his name? The other big
Reed?
Yeah, Ed Reed.
Oh, Ed Reed too? Wow.
And he decided that it was more important to his team to get a big guy that he's going to put in guard and solidify his entire offensive line. This guy that had Ed Reed, Kyle Hamilton, played against Troy Polamalu, decided Caleb Downs, not that impressive to me at 10. And people are saying, people that never picked up a fucking helmet and put it on, hey, Mr. Burns over at Choate, excellent. Try playing a little bit of football before you make your stupid fucking comments. Because it just makes you look like a goddamn moron. Because we already know you are a moron. Because of the fact that if you never strapped on the helmet, you never put on the shoulder pads, hell, you never even put on the thigh pads. You have no idea what a football player is compared to a fucking athlete. You drafted a team of football players. You had the best draft you probably had in about 10 years because you drafted guys that are not projected talent, that are not athletes, that are immediate talents, that can come in and help your team win immediately. You potentially filled in 3 of your starting spots on your 53-man roster out of your 22 guys, and you bitch. And you're doing it not because you're being honest. You're doing it not because of the fact that you're giving proper information. You're doing it because you're trying to get the likes, the clicks, and the bleeps and the boops so you could be fucking YouTube famous. Let me give you a little fucking hint. You're a Z-level celebrity that no one fucking cares about. Go get a real fucking job. Do something. Stop being a disservice to the Giant community because you have these younger fan base that gets all their information from YouTube, Instagram, and all this other shit, and you don't know a fucking goddamn thing. And you spout out this information like it's gospel when you're all fucking morons. And these young kids eat this. I don't blame them anymore because they eat this shit up like it's fucking Cheerios on a Saturday watching cartoons because of the fact that you give the wrong information because you're trying to be famous. You're just fucking assholes. And if you got a problem with it, I park at fucking F8. Come see me. Come say hello. 6'1", 225 pounds. I ain't afraid of shit. So if you don't like it, fuck off. Go away. Don't bother me anymore because of the fact that I got to be the fucking voice of reason from you people because of the fact that you got these morons that don't know shit. Go back. You know what? You know, the Legion of Doom, we rose out of the swamp and we said, fuck. We're the good guys now.
Superman turned evil? Holy crap. Holy crap. I guess I'd be Black Manta.
You could be Black Manta.
Okay.
I don't know which one in Legion of Doom has really good hair. That would be me. I don't want to be Lex Luthor because we already have a Lex Luthor.
Yeah. But it's just crazy.
I'm just tired of Joe. I'm sorry. I'm just because you know what it is, Joe? You know what it really is, James? I'm going to talk to James and Jay. You know what it really is? I don't do this for money. I don't do this for fame. I don't need no credit card to ride this train. I do it because I love the Giants. I love the sport. I love playing football. I loved working in football. Some of the best moments I had in my life were because of football. And to see these things that go on, and yet maybe I am too old for this, but to see these things go on, it just makes you kind of fucking depressed because people are getting wrong information. They're getting misinformation. And they're looking at a draft that they should be ecstatic about. When your division rivals on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever, MySpace, sits there and pontificates how they hate the Giants because they had such a good draft. And then you have your own people who are supposed to be knowledgeable, and you have prognosticators, you have beat writers, you have everyone else telling you this is an A+ draft. And you sit there and say, this isn't good. These are bad players. He's got a herniated disc, which can be cured with physical therapy, which you would know if you've ever played the sports, or it's a 3-month surgery, 3-month window for surgery, which means it would put him in August, wouldn't put him in training camp.
And also sometimes with herniated disc, you don't even need surgery. Everybody doesn't have surgery that has a herniated disc.
You can rehab that. That could be rehabbed. So, can I be Solomon Grundy? I don't know anymore, man. I don't know. I literally have to be the voice of fucking reason. I don't like this. I don't like being I like wearing the black hat. Now I gotta wear the fucking white. Now I gotta get a gosh darn white hat.
Well, it's just like you said. I think I'm telling you, you could be in a bad situation for so long that when it starts to get better, you don't know what it looks like.
Right.
Well, how would you know? I mean, we know because we're old enough. We've been through the bad times to the good, back to the bad, to the good, now back to the bad. Now we're going to go back to the good. But there's a lot, and I get it. Like I'm at the age now where I'm literally in the middle of life where there's going to be, when I'm at work, there's people older than me, and then there's going to be a lot of people younger than me. So I'm literally in the middle. So when a lot of younger people come in and they say certain things, or they get so overwhelmed by certain things, it's my job and people of our ilk, like Tim, me, all of our brothers and sisters out there in this range, to just tell them, calmate, tranquilo, calmate, tranquilo. You guys, and Joe, you know we love you, baby. But
we love Joe Barry's. We love Joe.
You know, and Joe, you actually know what you're talking about.
He does.
But a lot of this fan base, it's just like the draft just ended. Tim's doing his recap. Some of you are like, well, we should have. I got news for y'all. I'm a Buckeye for life. Guess what? Caleb Downs is going to be good. Mm-hmm. Sonny Styles on the Redskins is probably going to be good.
Yeah.
But we also got a player who's also probably going to be good. So stop looking over the fence and start looking at your own lawn. Holy crap. Calm down.
Mrs. Online.
The Knicks just won a big game. We just had a great draft. We actually got a wide receiver that Tim said before. He was touted as a first-round prospect. So he dropped to the third round. If the guy has any heart, he's going to take that as, I got to go out there and prove myself. Hopefully.
But there's the thing, James. He fell because he's not an athlete. He's a football player. That's why he fell. They looked at his intangibles during the combine, during his Senior Bowl, during his pro day, and said, well, he only runs a 6.45. He's only got this on the vertical. He's only got this. And they take that. He didn't do well in the shuttle. But like I said, people are arguing with me that I like I like the Mekhi Fields pick. And people are trying to argue with me and tell me why he's not going to do I'm saying he's not going to do certain things. And they're like, well, he's going to do this. No, he's not. But I like the pick because he is a football player. He is a wide receiver. But if you're going to use him in a short transition game with his stride and his inability to get off the line because of his lack of quickness, it's not going to work. You're going to put him on the longer routes, it's going to work. But to use him in a short stop, and every scout says this biggest issue is the fact that he's not a guy that's going to play in a short space. He's not a guy that's going to play within the line of scrimmage in 4 yards. He's not that type of receiver. That's not what
he's not Papa Smurf.
We have other wide receivers that play that position, play that quick out, play those speed guys. That's not what he's here for. And just because I don't think he's going to fit in the Malik Neighbors role doesn't mean I don't like him, because I've been pontificating how I thought he was the right pick for the Giants. I just don't like giving up 2 4s and a 5 to move up 30 spots, because that doesn't make football sense. Because you build your team through the draft, through the between your 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds. Most GMs will tell you this.
I don't know. I'm happy.
The OBB squad is Mrs. Online Big Blue. She's in the chat. She has a message for you, James Williams.
Oh, God.
Stop.
It better not be a voodoo doll.
Stop making her laugh so hard at night that you give her antacid and indigestion. Once again, last night, James, I called up James, and James called me back, and James had this Nick rant that made Mrs. Online Big Blue laugh so hard she gave herself heartburn again. There was a time you had a Nick rant a week ago, again, that last weekend, that you made her laugh so hard that that Pepsid and all these other things couldn't even calm down her acid reflux because she was laughing so hard. She said, "Fuck you, don't do that again." Because I can't do this at 11 o'clock at night and try to go to sleep because James is making me roll on the fucking floor laughing.
Listen, man. I'm a very meat and potatoes and beer kind of guy. I just am. And what up, brother? T. Brad, you damn Wolverine. I'm a very meat and potatoes guy. You know, sometimes it's helped me more in life than it's hurt me. Sometimes in life, I do miss out on things. I'm not perfect. And guess what? I don't try to be anymore. No. I'm not worried about being perfect.
No need.
But, you know, I just like to call things like I see it. It's very simple. You know, the sky is blue. Okay. Tim is wearing a Knicks hat. Okay. I am drinking out of a mug with space alien killer clowns on it. It's you can see it right there.
Killer clowns from outer space.
You know, so when we sit here and people are like, oh, we missed out on the greatest safety since the invention of the word safety. It's like, okay, but I thought football teams were formed in the trenches. I thought you build them a house from the inside out. Nobody builds the picket fence and the flower garden before the foundation. What do I know? I'm a Mets fan. I don't know shit.
Well, you're right about that. I'm gonna have to give you that. You are a Mets fan. So what? You know, baseball. You're not. That's why we don't have a baseball channel. That's why we got. And we got a Darius Washington, who happens to be the shortest safety in the league.
We had a good draft. I feel pretty good. You know,
I have no complaints. It's what do we got? AJ had a great comment. Where did AJ's comment go about? Here it is. 15 years of lousy football. An entire digital generation has no idea what a good Giant team looks like. And I've said this before. I no longer blame James, the early 20-year-olds, the kids.
Nah.
Because they don't have ESPN like we did. They don't have the NFL Network. They don't have, they don't have the HBO show used to watch on Thursdays about football, and they don't have that. They get their information from these 45-second or 3-minute videos. They get this information from people that don't know anything about the sport, and they take it as religion because that's their form of media. That's how they get their information.
And the difference.
I don't blame them anymore.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying.
And Tim brought up a great point, because you got to think about it, and a lot of you who are younger won't even realize this. It's kind of like the same thing with the difference between when you really like an artist musically and you had to save your allowance or work money till the end of the week to get that $20 to actually go into the store and buy the CD versus just sitting at home and downloading it and streaming it. You know, the reporters, first of all these people on YouTube, they're not all journalists. They did not go to school. They did not study. They did not. You know, when I grew up, we had a show that I would watch on Sunday mornings called The Sports Reporters.
Yeah.
They'd come on Sunday mornings on ESPN. Mike Lupica, a couple of the other guys that Tim has mentioned would be on there. They'd sit around like men used to do, and they would talk sports. But they would talk about it from a real reporter's journalistic standpoint, guys who have been in the business for 20 years.
Yep.
These people we're watching on YouTube, they literally just, hey, I'm Joe Sports and I'm here. They can even take a black man's face and poster it somewhere. It's crazy. There's no legitimacy to stuff. You have to use your own mind, your own logic to sift through the garbage. Anybody with a cell phone can have a channel now.
Yeah. That's the problem. I gave the draft grade an A.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. I give it an A. Charlie says, imagine being a Dallas fan working on 4 decades of no Super Bowls in 30 years. Listen, I know people are pumped about the Jack Kelly. Jack Kelly's a pass rusher. Jack Kelly did not improve from 2024 to 2025 statistically or as a football player at BYU. Jack Kelly was basically a 0-star recruit. Jack Kelly does not tackle well in space. Okay.
I hate you.
That would kind of be kind of important for a linebacker.
I hate you.
Why?
I hate you so much.
Why?
I hate you so. Tell Mrs. All My Big Blue that it's not my fault that I go off on these rants. It's yours, as always.
But he doesn't tackle well in space.
No, it's just. But you just said we took a linebacker that everybody's pumped about, which is fine. Hopefully he works out. Shout out to the Kelly family.
But we took him in the 6th round.
You just said he doesn't tackle well in space. I don't know if a lot of you know this. That's probably one of the top 2 most important things a linebacker needs to be able to do.
That is probably the top thing a middle linebacker needs to do is tackle in space. Mrs. Online Big Blue has been working diligently for James because we have a t-shirt that we are going to put out for when the Knicks clinch this series. I love it.
Oh, God.
I just finished it. Here we go. This is going to be the t-shirt because he is a unicorn of a player. It's the Mighty Cat.
We need smoke coming out of the unicorn's mouth. Can we get that?
Mrs. Online Big Blue, did you create the one I told you to create yesterday just for James?
Oh, God.
I gave her she did.
Oh my God.
Specific information in regards to creating a t-shirt for James that we are going to wear during the Boston Celtics series.
Damn it.
And James, I already told you, if it comes down to game 6 and we're in New York and we're in the city, and when it comes down to game 6, we're going. But I have to pull this shirt. This is going to be the shirts that we are going to wear. And on the back, it's going to say New York Knicks Championship Bound 2026. These are the shirts that we are going to wear.
Fuck! I probably have to wear that.
I know.
Damn it.
I know.
Fuck!
And I'm not thinking, I don't know if I'm going to make them in big t-shirts. I think I might just, make some nice colored shirts with a little emblem of that as an emblem.
Damn it.
But yes, you can be excited about Jack Kelly, but there is a reason why he went in the 6th round. There is a reason why scouts will tell you he showed no progression between 24 and 25. Usually you want to show progression. You want to get better as a player. He is a speed pass rusher with basically one move who does not overly tackle well and missed an abundant amount of tackles playing in space.
So he's the Daniel Jones of linebackers.
He's not the Daniel Jones of linebackers, but he's a 6th rounder. So more than likely he's going to be a guy that's going to be, 51 to 53 on the roster.
Okay.
But he's not.
Well, we do need depth.
We do. And like I said, I'm not, he was projected by most people as an undrafted free agent, which I have no problem with because of the fact that
inside the cage. Cage goes in the water. You go in the water. Shark's in the water. Our shark.
There we go.
Again, very simple. You see how Quint broke that down? Very meat and potatoes. Very simple.
Quint knew it immediately. Can anyone join the chat, Tim? Sure. Anyone can join the chat here. Just don't be stupid because I'm famous now.
And hopefully Kelly does make the team. Like if he makes the team and he's a great special teams guy, he finds a spot to come in on certain downs. And he's a great locker room guy and he brings energy, then that's a super plus.
Right. And yeah, by midseason, we will all have the Jack Kelly mustache. We did draft a lot of guys with mustaches. Even Big Don sent me that the other day. He sent me all the pictures of people that had mustaches that we drafted.
Well, again, we've gotten away from that as society, like the Clark Gable stash or Clint or something real, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you got to have something that.
I love the fact that if you looked at Jacob Rodriguez, some of the pictures after the draft, and I think he was with his girlfriend or his wife or whomever's in the military, and you look at him and you're like, that motherfucker's like 47. He's got the stat. He looks like he's a 47-year-old man. And I love it. And I dig that about him. Let's see what Mr. Young has to say. We always love bringing new people on because we're just fucking stupid and crazy. Mr. Young.
How y'all doing?
We're doing
what up, what up?
How you doing, my friend?
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear us?
All right. My question is this. I can hear you. My question is this for y'all, man, because why as fans do we always get mad about bad picks? That's I don't get it. I went on somebody's podcast yesterday and they was always complaining or like bitching or what might like they were bitching what Malik said about he wanted to play with Caleb Downs, and I'm like, bro, he's 21 years old. He's only been in the league 3 years, and the same mentality that y'all had about like whatever he said, it just immediately just caught attention. And I'm thinking in my head, like, ain't that the same way we did Odell? And now Odell worked out with us and everything, and 33 years old, and y'all wanted to kiss his ass, and now he want to come back as a Giant. When I've been said that he should have stayed the Giant in the first place, because I don't know what the hell Gellerman was doing.
There you go.
The same thing, and he didn't even say nothing bad. He didn't say nothing bad. All he said is, I'd rather play with Caleb Downs than play against him. That's it. He didn't say, I even hate this pick. He didn't say none of that. He literally just said, I'd rather play with him. And it wasn't like he disrespected none of the pick because he went right on there and said, Twin, what's going on? He accepted that he got Arvell Reese. And I hate as being a Giant fan and always had to think like, it's never good for y'all. I'm not saying we're going to Super Bowl, but we're going to be better than we were before. You have to trust John Harbaugh. We ain't got no little funky ass coach that don't know what he's doing. We have a coach that know what he's doing. And Mauigoa might be one of I like Mauigoa. That's a Samoan. Yes, I would die for my quarterback too.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Oh, they said, he said. This is what pissed me off. He said the same thing that JMS said. JMS is the center. Oh, he left. Oh, crap.
No,
there you go. Yeah, they were like, he said this.
Change now.
Damn it, man! You always knocking people out now. But yeah, they were like, well, he said the same thing that JMS said. Because JMS said the same thing. I said JMS is the center. I said this is Samoan. That's the difference.
Yep.
They're born to be protective. He said family. He didn't wear the ufalala for nothing. He's a chief.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. And he said he would die.
I'd rather.
A little crazy.
Right. Well, this is this. And I get it. And I get it. Yes. I probably did want to study Styles. But sexy things don't always gonna be a good pick. For some reason, if you really want to Caleb Downs, why did he fall to Dallas instead of going 5? He fell for a reason. Not saying he ain't good, because I watched his clips. I like the competition. If he go in there, yes, I want to beat him every chance I get. Y'all have to look at it like that.
You know what?
I understand Coleman messed it up. I understand that everybody that owned the team before owned it messed it up, whatever the case may be. Yes, and we're the reason why Odell Beckham Odell left the first time, because we ran our freaking mouth talking about he was a kid, he didn't know what the hell he talking about. And you wonder why he had attitude to leave. After he signed that big ass contract and Gelman let him go right after that. So why we try to do Malik like that? Because he said all I wanted to do was just play with him and not play against him. That's all he said. And we blew it out the water for nothing.
And Malik also said the Giants had a great draft, but nobody talks about that.
No, they missed that point. They missed that part.
I'd rather for him to make the mistake, whether you liked what he said or not. Because I heard talking about it was a cornball move, did that another, because when Micah said something about the team was garbage, he didn't say nothing. What is there to say? He knew they was garbage. He's 21 years old, and as soon as he would have defended him, I'm like, oh, that's a right football player. You know what? Silence is the best key. And the only reason why I said anything about leave Micah alone is because I'm not just a Giants fan. I'm a Packer fan too. I like the Packers. What? And soon Micah would have had what, double-digit sacks, y'all would have been kissing his ass. Like, it don't make sense to me. We're Giant fans, and we need to just love what pick we got. Yes, some was a bust. Okay, cool. To be honest with you, I don't even know why we kept Neil. I don't know why, because I don't know. But I'm gonna trust in Harbaugh to let him know what he's gonna do about it. But the Falali pick, it's like I'm sorry for cutting you off, but it's like
no. Go ahead.
It's like every time that we get a pick, we always have to see the bad thing instead of the good thing. Well, the grade said he 57. I don't give a damn about the grade. Look how big the fucker is. But when we had Harbaugh last year, everybody would have been like, "Oh well, we won 10 games." Yeah, yes. How many losing seasons he had as the Baltimore Ravens? And now you can say, Jay, oh yeah, well, we're still gonna win 8 games. With Harbaugh, you still projected us for win 4 games with Harbaugh. Are y'all crazy, man?
Even
he hasn't had a lose in like 20 years.
Mr. Young has left both of us speechless. Because it's like looking in a mirror.
Yo, sitting there talking about we wanted the quarterback. Yeah, see, this is the thing about it. This is what crazy about it. When they were compiling playing who was going to be our starting quarterback last year, and when we got Winston, we got Russell, I was like, okay. I said, I know Russell ain't got it no more, but yeah, he still got an arm. And I kind of was like, okay, yeah, he did good against Dallas. Damn, he threw a lot of boom balls. But nobody want to sit there and say that we almost offered St. Louis quarterback almost $100 million. Gonna play for us. Then Justin would have to sit down for 2 damn years because Stafford would have been our quarterback. But you always talking about, well, it wasn't about the money. We almost offered a 36-year-old. And the reason why I brought that up is because we were bitching about Russell Wilson. But yeah, you the same dude, the same age as him, but he got better statistics than him. And we offered him $100 million.
We did.
But if he would have played bad, we would have jumped down Stafford, bro. Like, we don't know what we're doing, bro. Sometimes the Giants fans, sometimes we don't need to shut the fuck up.
What are you drinking?
I'm going to hear you. What you say?
What you drinking? What do you got in your hand? What are you drinking? There we go.
Monster
drink. Okay. Well, I don't think you need any energy. People say I got a lot of energy. Mr. Young is down with him. Mr. Young is down with him.
I've been feeling like this. I've been waiting. Look, I've been like this. When you say we could join it, I said I'm finna go in here right now. This is before every podcast open because I want to be able to have a season where we just happy about shit that we got. You know what I'm saying? Just shit we got. Yes, sometimes some picks might not work out, but I'm telling you for a fact, Arvell Reese is stacked.
Yeah,
I saw that boy cut in his Ohio State uniform, and I said to myself, he's chiseled like number 91 used to play for us, Justin Tuck. I'd rather have him in my backfield next to Jermaine Edmonds. I looked at him and said, this boy 21 years old. I said, he got more muscles in my head. I said, what the hell? I said, shit. I said I was happy for that pick. But I go and I just like to say y'all doing a good job, man. I mean, you telling the truth about a lot of stuff, but it's just like, well, who will be the like I'm hearing a lot of like content creator talking about, well, who gonna be leader in the linebacker room? It ain't Tremaine Edmonds. How you know? I said y'all making it seem like Tremaine Edmonds ain't that dude.
Tremaine Edmonds is a very vocal player,
but they making it seem like he's not. Yeah, but they making it seem like he's not that dude. He don't really. I said his game speaks for itself. I said he might be the only linebacker I know that got more tackles than any damn body.
Yeah.
He get interceptions. I hate him when he was a Bear because, like I said, I'm a Packer fan too. But still, like I respected him because I was like, this man's good, and he's 6'5", 250. Like, come on.
Mr. Young is a Packer fan too, so I do think we were separated.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that.
Well, see, and everybody asked me that because I'm from Wisconsin, but yet my mom got divorced, so he stayed in New York. And when I was already a Yankee fan when I was a Packer fan, but that's another day. But when he stayed in New York, all I was watching was Giant games, and I started being into it. I mean, I've been a Giant fan since Kerry Collins was our quarterback. Like, I've been a Packers fan since far been around. So well, I should say with Don Mikowski been around. So yeah, I'm 39 years old. So when you were talking about that show, you were talking about all that football players and this and that. That's why I said on the comments. I remember that because they knew what they're talking about. We don't get good shows like that no more. I just want to have a legitimate season where it's just people just be happy, and not just okay, we're 1-2 and all the season's over with. Bro, it's only 2 games. You see, you're happy when it's just 3 games, and people say, well, it's just 3 games. I said, well, it makes or break that season. We 3-0, then we got a chance to be 4-0. We might be a chance to be 3-1. We can't always say, well, we're 0-1. Oh, their season's over with. I don't want to have a mentality like that no more, bro. I looked at the draft and I was shaking my head. I said, man, we got some good players. And that Colton Hood ain't no slum. Like he good. He good. Like, we just need to, like you said, we need to just chill. We need to relax, man. I mean, just enjoy the season, enjoy the picks. I mean, we can't always get the sexy pick because sometimes the sexy pick is gonna be a bust.
Yeah.
No, but there's crazy, brother.
Oh, there was
we got the sexy pick. That's the crazy thing, brother. We got the sexy pick. We got Reese.
But that sexy pick, the sexy pick is Sunny style. They Sunny pick. I know, but they sexy pick won't be Sunny style. Like I want a Sunny. I think in my head all the time before the draft came. I'm like, damn, Michael McFadden, Tremaine Edmonds, and him. I said, yeah, the Dallas ain't gonna do nothing. I said, yeah, Philly, we finna get Philly. And then when I saw Arvell Reese, I said, yeah, that's even better. I wasn't mad. I'm on YouTube seeing Giant fans shaking their head like, Arvell Reese. I'm like, yes, Arvell Reese. Arvell Reese. What? Oh yeah, we wanted Sanders' son. I'm like, look, I got nothing against Deion Sanders' son. I said to myself, yeah, like I went on Marshall Green page when he got mad because he was talking about he wanted because we know we was gonna get Ward, but he said he wanted Sanders, and he flip flopped because he was like, if we get Jackson Dart, I'm gonna be okay. And as soon as the pick came in, he just went silent. And I went on his page and was like, what's wrong with Jackson Dart? What's wrong with Jackson? He's another Mississippi State quarterback. I mean, we didn't feel like this with Eli. Yes, we was tired of him throwing interceptions. But as soon as he won 2 Super Bowls, oh yeah, he's the greatest quarterback of all time. How many times has he beat Peyton?
Mr. Young, I gotta wrap this up because I gotta leave. I got other people.
All right, bet. All right, John.
I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate your commitment. I appreciate your passion and your strength because that's what you need. That's what you need to be for a Giant fan. So
that's what our team needs. That's what the Giants need too. They're passionate and they got it with the hardball. That's all I gotta say. We got to be patient to see how it goes. And I know we might win 10 games. I mean, let's go take time. That's all we gotta be patient. That's all we need. That's all I'm just asking for.
That's all we need. But brother, I gotta let you run because I gotta get 2 people on because I gotta get out of here in 2 minutes. But I appreciate
yes, sir.
I appreciate your passion because that's what you need to do. We got to bring in another new person. We got Thomas, who's been waiting to come on. And we also going to drop in T. Oh, no, there we go. I lost T. T. I'm going to drop you in for a second.
Hey, Tim.
But I want to bring in Thomas.
Finally be talking to you. How y'all doing?
We're doing good. I'm glad you were able to come in.
Hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you, brother. I can't hear them.
You can't hear us?
For some reason, I can hear you, but I can't hear
them. I can see myself. Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Me?
We can hear
I can hear everybody.
We can hear everybody. I think T's having some problems.
T. Brad, you can't hear me, brother?
I hear you. I don't hear Tim. I don't hear Angry Black Man.
Well,
good. Michigan sucks.
You may have to log. You might have to log back in again. But Thomas, what's going on, my friend? How you doing today?
Hey, Tim, if you can hear me, I can see everybody. I'm going to leave and try to come back. It doesn't say I'm muted, but I can't hear myself.
Go ahead.
Back in.
Good. We can hear you. We can hear you just fine. Can you hear us?
Okay.
All right, then. You know, we had some angry people in the chat. Dylan was like, you were just saying that, what was Dylan's comment? Dylan made a comment that I said that Leak needs would shut his mouth. He does need to shut his mouth and play, but he's entitled to his opinion. But I'm going to blast him because of the fact that he's entitled to his opinion 100%, but he does need to shut up and play. He does. But the problem is this: if someone has an opinion, someone expands an opinion, someone puts out their opinion, that's fine. That's why people have opinions.
Listen, the best offensive player on this team is allowed to have an opinion.
Exactly.
Straight
Thomas,
up.
can you hear us now? Thomas, can you hear us, Thomas? Thomas, can you hear us? Thomas?
Camera.
Hey,
what's up, guys? I tried again. Can you all hear me? I can see you guys. I don't know what the problem is.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
We can hear you. Thumbs up.
Okay, so I can see you guys. You can hear me. I can't hear you, so I'm not going to keep you on too long. If I can't figure this out, I'll try again next time, but let's see. Forgive me if you can hear me. I'm getting ready to PCS.
We can hear
here in the UK.
I'll put you in the chat here. We can hear you. There we go. We can hear you.
Okay, appreciate it. So you can hear me. I can't hear you. Well, Tim, let me just say hi again. You see me. I kind of follow you here and there. You're one of the best Giants fans out there. Figure this out another time. Again, time difference. I didn't know you've been on here for a couple hours, but I just wanted to say, hey, introduce myself. I guess in person, in camera. You do this again in the future, we'll try again, figure it out. And to yourself, sir, again, hello, Thomas. Always nice to see a fellow Giants fan. I'll just say this, again, I'll pop in another time. You guys take care. Go Big Blue and Tim. Every Giants fan, I want to say thank you for your honesty. We're fans. We always have opinions. Sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong, and things happen. But I always appreciate your sincerity. It's always nice to get a cool-headed take on anything, the draft, schedule, coaches, all that. But I don't want to talk your ear off. You guys take care, and I'll pop in next time. But go Giants.
All right, Thomas. Well, we heard Thomas. Evidently StreamYard's having a problem because a lot of people are having problems. But they can't hear us, but we can hear them. Oh, I'm tired. It's late. I got to go shopping. T, I'm sorry, brother. I don't know if you can bring in T real quick. See, T, can you hear us?
I actually can't hear you. The last time I couldn't, so
there we go.
Pop back in. But I can hear you.
StreamYard does suck.
I was going to say it's because I'm black, but the white guy was dealing with the same thing, so I can't use race.
I was going to say
race on it. Damn it.
And to some of the people that were putting in some not nice comments about the other guests that we just had on and saying some things, and these are people that I respected on the show and have said, have been participants of the show for years and have said things, but you kind of said some shit that's fucked up. Fuck you. You're not welcome.
What, talking about the last guy who was on? Not the last guy, but the other guy who was
no.
passionate.
Some people in the chat, not the last guy that was on. He was awesome. I loved him. I love both of them, but I'm talking when we had the other gentleman on, some other people were making some inappropriate comments that were not nice, comments that were not respectful, comments that were just not appreciative, comments that have been blocked. And you know who you are. Fuck off.
Don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah, don't be.
Damn it! You lucky I can't read that crap.
Smoke crack.
Yeah, this is online. Big Blue sent them to me, and they got blocked and they got banned. And everyone is welcome on this show. Everyone has passion. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone, just because we talk to different people and don't read the chat all the time, I don't ask for super chats. I don't ask for requests. I get to as many chats as I possibly can, and we bring someone on, and someone else on that has passion, that has desire. And I love Mr. Young. I thought he was fantastic, and I'd love to have him back on again. But if you feel that way, maybe there's something in you that's wrong. Maybe there's something in your brain that you're wired wrong, but you're not fucking welcome here. Fuck off and go away.
There we go.
I don't care how long you've watched the show. I don't care how you've been. It's fucking not called for, and I don't deal with it.
I'm definitely going to ask you offline what was said because I'm interested.
I'm telling you right now. Tell her to send me that so I know the names if I ever run across them.
I'm interested later because you really have a thick skin, so it doesn't bother you. So for the comments to get you to the point where like, hey, fuck you, get out of here. I was like, damn, they must be pretty aggressive comments.
It doesn't bother me. It's just the fact that I think and I think it's the fact that some things have racial undertones, and some things just because of who I am and where I grew up, and the people that are my friends, and I just don't deal with that shit.
Not racial undertones in America where we're all
You're
free.
shocking.
That's impossible. We're all free here.
It's not even America. Remember, T-Red, this is the Giants fan base. We're all supposed to be on the same team.
And like I said, Mr. Young was.
Daniel Jones has divided us like no one else.
And we see it right here.
Jones has divided this fan base behind no one else, and the racial undertones were there the whole time.
Mr. Young, who was just on, says that's not cool, people. Greg said not cool at all. If I'm down to moderate, if y'all need someone, Charlie, you know what? Email me at tim@onlineBigBlue.com. Email me at tim@onlineBigBlue.com. I trust you, Charlie. I'll make you a moderator. Mrs. Online Big Blue is a moderator. But I'm just saying, like I said, Mr. Young, Mr. Leon, you are welcome back anytime.
Yo, I'm just gonna say this right now. I love my brothers, but this is why I'll never have a podcast. Because I'll bust one of y'all ass out here in real life. All right? Fuck all this internet shit. I don't know what was said, and excuse my language, but I will fuck one of you up. I'm telling you right now. You see this face?
Fight the internet. It's undefeated.
You see this face? And I wear glasses. You see me at a Giants game? I will fuck one of you up.
I'm more concerned that I think my mom.
And just so you know, that threat is actually on the internet now. So if you actually do getting something at the Giants Stadium, you are actually going to be considered the aggressor if you get the right lawyer. So Tim, you're going to have to delete that. God forbid you get into it on natural.
Hold on, we gotta drop Greg in real quick.
What are you talking about? I'm going to let them swing first, T-Brad.
I really got to leave here, but guys, I got to drop Greg in because I haven't seen Greg since the draft.
The hell?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
What up, brother?
What up, Greg?
Nothing much, man.
You got something to say? Because I got to leave. I thought you were coming with some knowledge.
No knowledge. I'm very. I can't hear you guys again. The stream, I'm lucky I have the TV on, but like it's terrible. But like, I think we had a good draft. I'm very happy the direction we're going, and I think we're making progress.
I agree.
I'm with you.
Even though I wouldn't have made all the moves they made the same way, I think overall, because I'm not even looking at the 6th round pick. 6th round picks, you're lucky if they make the team. That's my opinion on a 6th round pick. But when you look at the first 4, 2 of them I might have went in different directions, but I think we got good players for great value. Really great value for all of the players we got, at least the top 3. Now the 4th one, Malachi with what's this guy, Fields. I probably went Jacoby Lane. I think Jacoby Lane's a bit better, but at the same time, I definitely wanted to go receiver, and I know why the Giants went there, because the tier of receivers was going to drop off by the time it got to them, so they needed to stay on that tier and get a big guy. Like I like Ted Hurst, I like Jacoby Lane, and it's not that because I like these guys better than Fields that I don't like Fields. I do like Fields. I understand what we're going for with Fields, and I can say this is the most excited I've been about seeing the Giants probably before we drafted Daniel Jones. Like
this is the first offseason I haven't been thinking about like the next draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
watching
Like,
the
we got to
season.
fix that next year. Yeah.
Okay, so
got running back.
All right, everyone, just shut up a second. This guy's name is Jacob Hogden 3189.
That's the guy's name.
That's the guy's name. So
fuck him.
So let's just say, I love it because even the online Big Blue says, I think someone needs to be wonked. So yeah, he got wonked, and that's Jacob Hogden, 3189. You just need to take a big glass, shut the fuck up, and never come back here again because you have been banned. And I'm just gonna say you are literally a piece of shit, and that's all I'm gonna leave it at. And I have Mrs. Online Big Blue has still been diligently working for James because we have another concept for James right now for our New York Knicks shirts.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one.
Game 6 of the Boston Celtics series.
Go Lakers.
I'll ram that unicorn sting right up Jacob's ass.
Pause. I think
no pause. I'm a grown ass man. No pause.
Whoa.
No pause, Jacob.
Hey, no.
Fuck out of here.
We're gonna go pause there.
That was pause.
That's
no pause. No pause.
You're a solitary confinement, buddy.
You deliberately pick what point on the body you were gonna deal with. I'm so glad you're not angry today, James. Like the Knicks one. What the hell are you upset about, man?
Yeah, man. I know the Knicks. I know
one,
the Mets suck. I know. We're with
Let me tell
you.
you something, brother. You live in a world that's here in America. As a black man, you can't let comments fuck with you like that. Your fucking blood pressure go up high enough. Oh, you cannot let these comments get to you like that.
I have one.
I didn't even see the comment. That's what's crazy.
Exactly, and that's my point. That's exactly my point.
I didn't even say it. I just know his name is Jacob Hogden. Oh yeah, we know what you look like, Jacob.
Tim, unblock him. Let us get him and troll him to death.
No, I don't. No, no, we don't.
Jacob Hogden.
No, because what Jacob's gonna do is take over the show, and then all of a sudden we're gonna be a racial show. No,
exactly.
Yeah, no. We're not sitting somewhere in his grandma's basement.
We're not gonna do that.
Sports, movie lines, and whatever hell else is funny as shit.
That's right. We're not. But guys, I really do have to get the fuck out of here because I am beyond late. I was supposed to leave 41 minutes ago.
All right, Tim, I'll see you there. We'll be day drinking.
All right, brother, man. I will talk to you later. I'm gonna drop the venerable T-Brad out. I'm gonna drop Big Greg. You got anything to say to close out? What you got to say?
Go Blue. First time I think of the dream.
I didn't kick him out.
I was gonna say, goddamn.
I am not that mean. I did not kick him out. I am not that mean. I didn't kick him out, but I am going to kick him out now. I'm 39 years old and was disappointed that someone said that. Yeah, it's, you know what, Mr. Edmund, Charlie, oh, Mr. Young, you don't worry about it. It's not just, it wasn't just related to you. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about you, brother. You're fine. You know, it's a sore spot for me. So I don't, as they say so eloquently, homie, don't play that. So we took care of it. Oh, his phone rang. Okay. Just nip the BS quick, make it known. It won't be accepted. Then it's gone. So you're done. He's out. He's gone. He's done. He's never coming back. So we're not going to worry about it anymore. All right, James, what's your final thought? Because I am 43 minutes late. Mrs. Online Big Blue is probably waiting upstairs with a sandal because we do need to go to the store.
We had a good draft. I'll just say that because I don't want to say what I really want to say. We had a good draft.
Let's not say it. It's a good draft. It's a good draft. We took care of business. A+ all around. Like I said, with Billy Bob says, I give it a 10. I give it a 10. Don't get overly excited about your 6th-round picks because the majority of them are probably going to be on the practice squad or probably we're going to be undrafted free agents because on my board, all 3 of them were undrafted free agents. But if you can get a guy in the 6th round that you don't have to fight someone for, another team for as an undrafted free agent, it's a good move. Your first 4 picks, solid as fuck. Malachi Fields, like I said, he is what he is. And let's not make him out to be something he's not. And I've said this before. I think he's a good pick. I think he was a great pick for the Giants. I think it was a smart pick, but you can't give up 2 4s and a 5, and especially a 4 and 27, which is supposed to be a stacked draft. That's all I ever said. Thank you for your support. You know, you got my support, bro. Anyone that's good to the show and anyone that's nice to us, you always, like I said, that was like the other day, someone picked on Dom. And I fucking went scorched earth. Because you don't pick on Dom. You don't pick on people that I like. So that's just me, though. maybe I need to take less testosterone. Charlie says, I thought it was great. Sound move, regardless of how it turns out. All the moves, I agree. Don't let assholes get you down. Love your passion. I do. I love his passion. No, Trent, I can't have any more people on. I love this. Odell signs 4 years, 90 million. But I love his passion. I will have Mr. Young on anytime he wants to come on. The passion is there. So
some of you have never been punched in the face before. That's all I'm going to say. Some of you have never been punched in the face before. Seriously, I can tell it immediately. Immediately.
And you need to be. But you know what? No, Trent, I don't have time. I'm really late, Trent. I am really late. I'm 45 minutes late. This show went on way too freaking long. I'm not doing more 3-hour shows because I'm going to be back tomorrow at 11.
Tim has literally streamed like 12 hours this week, maybe 15.
Yo, you can stream more than that. I streamed 7 hours and on what's the draft? I streamed 7 hours.
Oh, that's right. The one day was like 4 or 5 hours by itself.
7 hours on Thursday itself. And then I did another almost 6 hours on Friday. And then I streamed every single day last week. So we may do that this week. I think I have a week's worth of streams Monday through Friday because I got a lot to talk about. And I'm out of here. Good live, guys. I'm out of here. Smash the like button, says Big Charlie. I'm out of here too, Charlie. Just another happy Valley Sunday here in status symbol land. I'll be here tomorrow, Tim. God bless both y'all. We salute you. I am a little freaked out that he may be my brother. Literally. as soon as I turned my hat around, James, I saw the family resemblance. And I think my mom was from Wisconsin. Just not saying. And he's a Packer fan, and he's a Giant fan, and his dad's from New York. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. That's all I'm saying. James, close it out.
Let's go Knicks.
That motherfucker must have lost his goddamn mind.